Ho, ho, ho. All right, they can hear us now.
Oh shit. Feliz Navidad.
I'm gonna make Mike go over the games of 2021 so we can put together a list for Game of the Year. Make him do that. He doesn't know yet. We'll see how amenable he is.
I'm gonna put a t-shirt on. I don't
The
feel
audio streams
comfortable now.
Is 0, which is lower than recommended bit rate. Yeah, that would be. How does it? Can you check the audio of the thing and see how it sounds? See how maybe there's something broken here. Settings, audio, output. All right, Nick Turbo, you're in. Let's see if you get kicked out with the first thing that you say.
Don't tempt him.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys. How's it going?
Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm a cat.
Put the Christ back in Christmas. I am pretty much set up. I think I got the rundown.
I'm a cat.
Let me open up some things.
You know what?
Did you like your gift, Mikey?
I did.
You son of a bitch. He gave it to me too.
I'm already a pro.
People should know that the vote for Tales of Arise versus the Forgotten City and Persona 5 Strikers versus the Artful Escape are both really close. So if you have a dog in those fights, you should go vote now. I think the link is probably still in the description.
Persona 5 Strikers.
Everyone
Forgotten City.
Quickly go and pick the
Vote
right
for
one.
Forgotten City. Vote for
whatever.
Persona 5 Strikers.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean, I do like Persona Strikers, but I'm more concerned about the Tales for Rise.
It's my game of
Well,
the
I mean,
year.
Forgotten City's
Striker.
better than Tales of Arise. I mean, so
What?
we're fine.
I played
You watch your
Forgotten City
mouth.
now, so I can now say that is not true.
Yes, it's very true.
Wow.
I started putting my list together today, and Forgotten City's very high up there.
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
It's crazy,
my number
dudes.
Crazy.
My number 2.
I can be an anime girl. Look at me.
Now my top 3 is Village, Forgotten City, and then P5 Strikers.
I'm supposed to be catching up on games this whole week. I took off. I did very little of that, really. I did get to play Forgotten City a good bit, but otherwise not so much.
Yeah.
Brian, just
I'm a white cat.
I'm going to the movies tonight.
What are you
Oh, what you
saying?
gonna... Spider-Man?
No, I'm gonna see
Matrix.
The Matrix.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, but it's on streaming, bro. You can
I
rip
want to
off.
go to the theaters.
It's fun to go to a movie theater sometimes.
I hate the movie theaters.
I'm
Oh,
going
I
to
like
the
movie
one
theaters, though.
going to a really nice one that gives you actual food.
Everybody,
I think I like that movie.
Everyone seems to like the new Matrix more than me.
Yes.
I think it's like it's ambitious and it doesn't work most of the time, but I'm fine with it. It's kind
I
of
guess
where
I'm
I'm
not
at with it.
understanding where this ambitious. Everyone says it's ambitious. I guess I don't really understand where it's ambitious. It still.
think
It
that's
seems
just
like I feel like that the new Ghostbusters was criticized for a lot of things. I feel like still applies here. Just because this movie
I haven't
points
seen the new
out that it's
Ghostbusters.
doing it, I don't know why that makes it better. That's all.
Well, I mean, this
Like
movie
it
said
just
says
like
straight up
Mikey.
"fuck you" to the people giving them money to make the movie. That's why it's ambitious
Well,
to me.
I mean, okay, but then.
I'm not saying it's good. It's okay to dislike it.
Yeah, I know.
like-
I know. I'm not, and to be clear, I don't dislike it that much. Like, I clearly like it more than Matrix 2 or 3. I just, whatever.
Don't spoil it.
That's why I
You don't
like
like
watching
Reloaded?
movies anymore, because I am a frumpy dump with movies these days. I just don't, I end up not liking them very much anymore. That's not always true. Like, I like Spider-Man, I like Ghostbusters even, but when I don't like it, for some reason, my immediate feeling is, oh, I'm out of touch.
Well, I mean, that's just
Oh, you are old.
factual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Look at me, I'm a
rewatched
cat.
the original and Reloaded last night, and I'm currently watching Revolutions.
I haven't seen
You hate
Revolutions
yourself?
and Reloaded since they came out.
It has the twins on the Revolution.
Yeah, Reloaded is better than I remembered it being.
Ah,
Almost wish
it's reloaded with the orgasm cake.
Yes.
orgasm cake.
Yeah, there's an algorithm cake.
Man, I tell you what, don't remember that, and I'm glad I
And
don't.
the twins with Ray.
Oh, that's the one with the twins.
I remember the twins. I don't remember. Yeah.
Reload's the one with like the 1,000 Smiths.
God damn it, Christian.
Yeah, and the really bad looking
What?
CG fight with them.
I'm a
What do
cat.
you mean what?
I'm a cat. Look at me. I'm a
Yeah,
cat.
you are a cat. There's no denying that.
There's no denying that you are a cat.
Did I
Look at me.
watch
I
Animatrix?
can be an anime girl.
Whoa.
Wait, it's loading.
Why's my camera messed
Oh
up?
shit! What up, boy? Hey yo, what's going on?
Christian, you know no one can see you.
I know. Chef can see me.
Yeah, we're doing a show for an audience here, Christian. Stop
What happened with your
doing your
camera?
own thing.
I don't know.
Also,
My camera's
just camera.
busted.
What the hell?
Well, who
It's
knows?
3D. What's going on?
Is it 3D?
No.
it's not. But
It's just broken, right?
it's just broken. Oh, what up, boys?
Well, your
Yeah,
camera,
my
your
God.
side camera looks
Yo.
fine at least. There you
I can
go.
move my tail.
Jeff,
If I
that wasn't
move my
the point I
arm,
was
he moves
getting
my
at.
tail.
The point I was getting at wasn't that we need the people to see him. My point was that Christian should shut the fuck up.
Wait,
I'm
I
a
need to
black
ask
cat
Chat
now.
something.
Wait. Yo, what up, boys?
Chat, should I watch the Animatrix?
No one
The
should watch
Animatrix?
the
Yes.
Animatrix.
What? The Animatrix?
Of course you think the Animatrix is good.
All right, I kicked them out.
There you go.
All right,
it.
let me fix this. I can get rid of myself.
And yes, the last word on that is that the Animatrix is not good.
Christian
That's
comes
just-
back. Bye, Christian.
That's just mean. That's just mean. Bye. have a good Christmas.
Thank you too, man.
Yes, very.
Oh wait, how do I stop?
All right, don't worry, Jeff. My auctions of Final Fantasy 14 are up to date. I can turn the game off now.
Shoo.
Yeah. Oh, I got my Weaver to level 90, so now I'm ready to make those high-end crafting recipes. And it just looks like shit, but the storytelling is interesting, man. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was visually interesting, at least back then. I don't even remember what it looked like now, but that it was all gobbledygook nonsense. Just got a video game themed Christmas sweater. Should I put my Castlevania one on?
You don't have to.
This is nice. There's some polar bears.
It's pretty.
Just-
Yeah. Polar
well,
bears
just
are in video
imagine-
games.
Yeah, just imagine it's the polar bear from, I don't know, is Dark Souls have polar bears? Probably not. That'd be silly.
What do I want to do? I'll put this over here.
I was touching my polar bears, and it's clearly just me touching my breast when I do
Yeah,
that. So.
yeah, just getting into your Chester fluffs.
Well, yep.
Oh no, when
Right in
am
the
I
polar
ever in a
bears.
bad mood? I'm never in a bad mood. I'm always chipper and chippy and skippy. Okay.
All right, what
Rundown.
else do I need? I need a rundown open.
Questions.
Rundown. I imagine there wasn't much news this week. There was surprisingly still some.
So
which shocked
what
me.
we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the games of 2021 and build a list that we can then use for like a master list for game of the year. Okay, we don't have to say a ton about each game, but we can say a little if you want.
Sure, Jeff.
And I got a good way of doing that. I think
Jeff, I believe in you.
I appreciate when you humor me, Mike. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Podcast rundown.
Let's see, window capture. Let's capture this window here, 2021 game release schedule, and then let's see what it looks like if I turn it on. Oh my God, it's backwards. Why would that be the case?
We got background music today. How fancy.
Let's see.
Hey, it is backwards. It's backwards. Remember in Spaceballs when he teleports Shrewd and he's like his ass is on his front, and that one woman has that the line delivery. It's backwards, or he's backwards. It's such a weird delivery.
Yeah. Yes, I think about weird deliveries a lot, Mike. I'm not gonna lie.
It's backwards. The remote controls a robot from Incredibles. The remote controls a robot. It drives me crazy every time. I don't know why.
And then I can just we can just delete games that we don't think are viable, which is gonna be a lot of them. Okay, then I could turn that off. You know what? Let me add a transition because I could do that. Show transition. Slide.
Show. Merry Christmas, Major Blazer.
Up. And then
I probably should
have
have
learned
learned a Christmas song on the table, so maybe I can at least find some tabs for one. I can play it at some point.
Yeah.
How hard can that be?
all right, so now if
How
I show
hard
it.
can that be? Let's see. Carol of the Bells, 5 days ago. Give me the notes. Give me the notes.
Rename this to 2021. Okay, there we go. And then if I hit this, it goes.
There you go. Some carol bells for you. Turns out you just kind of do that for a while.
Okay. I think I'm good, Mike. You good? Take that as a sturdy yes. Ooh, votes are coming in still. Let's see. Nothing's really changed though too much.
All right. Yeah, I'm good. Just find something that has more
Tales of
variation.
Arise, Forgotten City, still pretty close.
Damn, dude.
And Persona 5 Strikers and Artful Escape, still pretty close. That link is still in the description, I think, so you can click on that, everybody. Okay, Mike, I'm ready to tweet about this. That's the thing I always forget. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Copy video URL.
Oh, I had it there for a while. I saw 3 ships come sailing in. That doesn't make any sense to me after that. Close enough. Alright. I am waiting for Jeff to tweet so I can just retweet his thing with the quote tweet.
Oh.
I'm feeling lazy. Feeling like a lazy piece of shit. Oh, I'm not retweeting that. Third favorite holiday, you're gross. You are absolutely disgusting. I like Thanksgiving more. I also like Halloween more. I'm just.
I don't like Halloween more.
I thought you. Okay, so it's not Thanksgiving. Was it 4th of July? What holiday do you like more?
I will. I'll tweet it here in a second. Hang on.
It's probably gonna upset me no matter what it is, isn't it?
I mean, it makes me excited. I don't know. That's your problem.
I'll tell you what, it is my problem. Arbor Day. If it's Arbor Day, I'm going to fly there and destroy Jeff.
Listen, downloads. There we go. All right. Just tweeted it. It's a joke. You're probably gonna be pretty upset, Mike, and I'm sorry about that.
It's a joke. So it's not. Well, it's not actually.
Not actually. No, of course.
Okay.
Not. All right.
That's okay. Number 1 favorite holiday is Waluigi Wednesday. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get started. I have the rundown. I've got to hit record. I need to hit the intro. Let's turn off this music. Oh, okay. And then I just should test this.
Oh, excuse me.
You
Alright,
hear that?
it's playing. Oh, I hear it.
Okay. Well, let's do this thing. Actually, you know what? Take one of my medicines.
There you go. I got my medicine. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar Cherry.
Just what the doctor ordered.
That's what the doctor ordered. Docty's for Mikey's. Gotta get some of this other stuff up. Christmas thing. Max says the magic sand. I don't. Yeah, it's weird. I know it's the good medicine, but I ate all of it and I felt pretty sick for a couple of days.
Magic sand. Okay, Mike. Now I'm good. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I'm counting down.
Beer.
I'm hitting record. I'm hitting the music, and then we're going.
It's too early for beer, Jess, and I'm already tired. I don't need beer right now.
5, 4, 3. It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the GamesBeat Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything happening in the world of games so you don't have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeffrey Grubb, and with me is
Mike Minotti.
Today's episode, we have news and games and Christmas cheer.
Wow.
Mike, how are you doing?
Great. Yeah. It's almost Christmas.
Yeah.
Been having a lot of fun this week. Tomorrow's the big day. It's been good stuff.
You got all your presents wrapped and everything ready to go?
Yeah,
I do too.
Good to go. I'm good to go. Yeah, I did all my wrapping a few days ago. Everything's nestled under my tree. I got the Turbo Man there. Got to make sure my neighbor doesn't come in and try to steal it. I'm good to
Right.
go.
Or hit on your wife. I mean, yeah.
Well, he's welcome to do that.
Oh, wait, it's the other way around. You're going to hit on his wife. Yes.
No,
there
he's
you go.
he's gonna hit my wife, but I just get to watch.
Okay. Of course. Yeah. Christmas, right?
Yes, yes, it's a season of giving.
It's
It's a season of cucking.
Okay, this is going to be an episode already. We've lost the thread already, people. Let's just keep going forward and hope for the best. Mike, I'm excited. We got Christmas stuff to talk about, but we also got a year to look back on. And later in this episode, we're going to look back at some of the games that we want to put on sort of a master list for our game of the year, which we're going to be doing in early January, probably. And basically, we're going to pick any game that might have any sort of attempt at winning any sort of award, not just game of the year. If it's going to be like another category we might bring this game up in, we'll bring that up there. We're also going to talk about the community game of the year, which the voting is continuing for that. We are finishing the first round today. Voting will end during this episode, and then the second round will start, and I'll make sure everybody gets the link for that. It should be in the description wherever you're listening. But yeah, let's see here. First, thank you for joining us. You get more from Mike and me at GamesBeat.com. If you have something to share with us, email the podcast at games+podcast@venturebeat.com or get us on Twitter at GamesBeat. Thank you to Carlos Ayin, who is insane in the right music on YouTube, for the use of our theme songs, the normal theme songs. Right now, we're using our holiday theme songs. One of those is from Dale North. If you are listening to this on the website player widget, you can subscribe to the show, the audio versions on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button, give us a like. That really helps people find the show. Join the Discord. The link is in the description, discord.gg/GameMess. And thank you to our mods, both on Discord and here in the chat. You can support this show and get to the secret channels in the Discord by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That gets you into like podcast producers and industry secrets and things like that. And register for our upcoming GamesBeat event. Go to events.venturebeat.com. That should get you right to our next upcoming event. Make sure you check that out. We really appreciate it.
Hey, Jeff, don't forget, I've been posting some giveaways here on our Discord channel.
Yes,
There's a link to that. I've posted a couple in the GamesBeat Decides channel. I have at least one thing, or in the last Nintendogs channel, I have at least one thing, though, for the GamesBeat Decides channel, and it is the Fancy Collector's Edition of Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker. I haven't taken it out of the box to show you because it's already in a box. Square Enix actually sent that over, so thanks to them. They told me that I could give it away, so I'll be posting that one maybe later today on the GamesBeat Decides channel, and you just have to give it the one of the weird Mike face emojis, a specific emoji. Last time I didn't specify what emoji, and people got carried away and started blasting emojis. I won't name names, Nick Turbo, but some people just had to be spelled out for them a little bit, but. Yes, but this will be a fun giveaway. That's
exciting. So yeah, if you are a new listener, just join that Discord. The Discord is free to join. There's just a certain channels that are for the Patreon subscribers and stuff like that. But that's not where we're doing the giveaway. So go ahead, hop in the Discord, join us, hang out with us, and sign up for those giveaways. I'll be adding my Mario Game & Watch here pretty soon. I'll probably just do that tonight so I don't forget.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, we got a little bit of news. Should we talk about it?
Yes, what's been happening? I haven't really been working this week, but I still have kind of seen what's been going on. I've still been doing the newsletters anyway, so there's that.
There's not much. We'll go by, Canoe will put it together for us. He always puts together by platform, so we'll start here with Xbox. Just a few things. Double Fine says they are working on multiple new projects. Mike, do you have any desire for them to go back to anything before and do a sequel, or do you want this to all be new IP? Do you have like a preference for Double Fine?
No, not really. I think Psychonauts was the big one that probably could use a sequel. Yeah. I don't really need a Brutal Legend 2. And other than that, it's like, what are they going to do? A Broken Age 2? Probably not. The only thing that I think might warrant maybe like a bigger budget version is Costume Quest, like a fancy Costume Quest 3.
Good point.
Might be cool. Or even maybe stacking. I don't know. I think I'd rather see what's going to be new from them. I'm not shocked that there are multiple projects in development from there. That's kind of usually what they do. They're usually working on multiple things at once. So, I mean, some people are saying, someone just says Griffith Dango in chat, like that stuff. I guess I don't know, like LucasArts still kind of has the rights to that stuff, right? I don't know even how that works. I can't remember.
I feel like Tim Schafer did a lot of work to get like the rights to republish those games. I don't know if he got the IP rights to those. But that means I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he could make a new Grim Fandango.
Grim Fandango is one of my favorite games of all time. I don't think I'd want a sequel to that one. That one's pretty perfect the way it is. Full Throttle might be interesting. There was a Full Throttle 2 in development at one point, like way back when. So it'd be interesting to maybe see what a sequel to that could look like. Otherwise, I think, yeah, let's see something new. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if he somehow had the rights to make a new Maniac Mansion, like a Main Mansion 3, Day of the Tentacle 2 kind of a thing, that I would be really interested in. If he was allowed to do that, I think that would be super cool.
Yep, and multiple red projects means they could do something new alongside a sequel to something that people, that is beloved. And I think of all those that you mentioned, the Costume Quest one really registered for me, but I'm a huge Costume Quest fan.
Sure.
So I think that'd be great. And I know not everyone is, but I think it's more because most people probably haven't just even played those games. People should go back. I think they're all on Game Pass now. Go play Costume Quest. Halo tournament on dev kits because of chip shortage. I actually don't even know what this means, Mike.
I heard about this. It just means
this?
they're having such a hard time finding, Xboxes are in such short supply that even Microsoft is using dev kits for like tournaments and stuff that they're hosting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chip shortage is going to continue. There's no end in sight. It is really going to. And we talked about this before. The problem is linearity. It's they need to solve one part of the chip shortage before they can start solving the next one, and they are just sort of getting the chips for cars and stuff. Everyone heard about cars were being hard to make because they couldn't get the chips. They're starting to get that under control, and now that means they could start shifting toward these high-end chips.
The important things.
Yeah, the important things like video game consoles. But that'll take a long time. Getting these things up and running takes some time. And this is Xbox Games with Gold. But I wanted to bring up there were some good games on there. Games with Gold for, what is it, January?
And I forget about Games with Gold sometimes. Tell you
what. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm Googling it real quick. I thought there was some cool stuff on there. Yeah, Radiant Silvergun. That's the one.
Ah, yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah, a treasure shooter. That's fantastic. That's a good one to bring forward. And then Space Invaders Infinity Gene. I also like that one quite a bit.
I remember that now. Yeah.
The other two were Neuro Voider and Aground, which I don't know what those are. So Neuro Voider is a twin stick shooter RPG. Sounds good.
Twin stick shooter RPG sounds kind of fun.
For PlayStation, PlayStation Plus's lineup that also leaked, and it's got some pretty good bangers in here. Deep Rock Galactic, which I know anyone who plays games like with a group, they always end up loving Deep Rock Galactic. Maybe that's when we should get going on the Discord, especially with it being on the PlayStation Plus lineup. Persona 5 Strikers and Dirt are all coming to the PlayStation Plus next month. Pretty good lineup.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Nintendo's news it's all about Cruise and Blast this month. They are planning to add an online multiplayer mode, which I'm actually pretty excited about. Now, that game is not necessarily like the most competitive. It's very much just about experiencing these arcade roller coaster levels. But it'd be fun to do that with some friends. I think that could be interesting.
Sure.
I wonder how like the rubber banding will work in that game and stuff like that.
Maybe they should just build it in as a feature. Just accept it's going to happen and like.
Yeah, you're right. Just like, and go with God. Like whatever happens. I think that's a good point. Like, it doesn't need to be something that's like super, where everyone needs to feel like it's super fair. If it's just a wild ride, that will be fine. They're also releasing DLC that should add more stuff to the game.
The DLC is what they want to make after they get the online squared off.
Right, and that's coming in the future after the multiplayer. Very exciting for me as a Cruise and Blast fan. That is in my top 12, which is what I have right now. I think I said before, that's going to be locked in as my number 10 no matter what. Even if other games move around, that is my number
top 10.
Yeah, it's my top 10 game. Yep.
Fair enough.
Let's see. Release dates: Final Fantasy 6 or Final Fantasy 11. No, it must be Final Fantasy 6 Pixel Remastered is coming February 2022. I think that got delayed.
I don't think there's going to be a Final Fantasy 11 Pixel Remastered.
That'd be incredible.
That would be insane. Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting, especially if it's still an MMO.
Yes, exactly. But Final Fantasy 6 is one that people have been waiting for. It's finally coming in February. Around the same time, we should begin to get to these Pixel Remasters on consoles, is what I've heard. So
okay.
Just
these things still just bum me out mostly, Jeff. I don't know. I just can't. When it's 1, 2, and 3, it's one thing. When I see 4 and 5, and I see that just awful font and kind of ugly UI and the mismatch of the overly clean sprites with the just like super flat backgrounds, I'll tell you what. I got an analog pocket, and all I can think about is how I want to play Final Fantasy 6 Advance, and probably not the pixel remaster. We'll see. Part of me is like, maybe I should just to see what it's like, but and they're even missing some of the stuff that they added to the advanced versions. I don't know. Like I've yelled about these things a bunch. People know I feel about them, but the pixel remasters really bummed me out because it should have been so easy to finally make a definitive version of Final Fantasy V, of Final Fantasy VI. And it still feels like these aren't even like the best of all these different ports and stuff. Like Final Fantasy IV, I imagine you're probably still better off playing that PSP version if you can. So I find the whole thing weird.
Yes. I guess it's not here, but Final Fantasy VII Integrate came to PC, and people are still wondering if anything's going to happen with that coming to Xbox. Still no news about that.
Well, apparently, the PC port's been very disappointing. It doesn't even have like graphic options and stuff like that. So
right.
So that's kind of a mess. So they might spend time fixing that. I mean, Square Enix and ports, right? And they usually do so well.
Right, and it's like, Epic, I'm sure, paid to get it like exclusive, but they're not going to help with the work to like make it like run super great on PC. Like that's just not what they're going to do. But yeah, it doesn't bode well. It feels like for an Xbox version. I feel like this sort of afterthought that they're treating this game as on other platforms. So yeah. Acquisitions. Embracer got super busy again. I got a list of things that they've acquired here. Dark Horse Media, which has the Hellboy and 300 IPs. Digic Pictures, which I don't know what they do. Shiver Entertainment is now under Saber, like Saber Interactive, so it's like a subsidiary under a subsidiary. Spot Film Networks is under Koch Media, and Perfect World Entertainment is under Gearbox. All of these are Embracer entities. They spent a lot of money on this. I think Perfect World Entertainment was $125 million or something like that, right?
Now, is that all of Perfect World, or is it like part of it? I thought I saw different things, but even still, that's pretty nuts there. And that's a big MMO group.
Right, there's like multiple parts of it, and I think Perfect World Entertainment is the publishing, video game publishing side in North America and Europe. Is kind of what I think that is. So.
Like Star Trek, Dungeons and Dragons Online. So yeah, that's pretty interesting there. I wonder if they did that specifically because they want to get a bit more in the MMO game.
Yes,
just because it's picking up a little bit now, that whole market again.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they just want to get in every game, right? They just want to be everywhere. Embracer Group. So, part of me thinks that this is just more about capital being readily available, being able to borrow money cheap, and feeling like, hey, we could buy these studios and they could sort of pay for the interest on these by themselves, and that makes the debt worth it. So I don't know. I mean, I wish they would just like open up their books and let me see how their business operates, Embracer, but they won't even grant me an interview, so I have no idea. I mean, I try and they're just like, maybe not.
Dark Horse Media is interesting. I mean, Hellboy is certainly an IP that seems pretty video game friendly. I mean, it doesn't seem that far off from like a Darksiders thing, right?
Yeah. And and Dark Horse is like, they definitely got dealt a pretty tough hand when, when Disney acquired Star Wars.
Yeah, that was a big part of their whole thing, huh?
I mean, for decades, that was like that was what I knew Dark Horse for. And it's like, oh, rough. Yeah. Okay. More news. The Great Exodus. Ubisoft is losing talented people. Some numbers getting thrown around. It's like 12% of Ubisoft employees have left in the last few months. That's a huge number. That'd be something around like 1,400 people have left. That is likely due to a very competitive market where people can get high-paying jobs almost anywhere they want, and can get it'll increase their pay, and they don't have to work for Yves Guillemot, which is I think a lot of people take issue with, and so this is going to continue to be a problem.
He's a pioneer in the NFT front, man. He's boldly pushing new technology, even though all of his customers and employees don't want him to.
Literally, these people are just cowards running away from the future, Mike. I mean, what can I say? This is not going to be just a problem for Ubisoft. I think it's going to be an accentuated problem for companies like Ubisoft and Activision, who are in the news for toxic work environments, right? But they could try to pay more. It's the problem is everyone is willing to pay more right now for talent. It is at such a premium, and the proof is in the pudding of like when you do invest in games with really talented people, most of those games are making money right now. People have sort of gotten past that part where they were afraid to make investment in games. Like, remember, like, what was that game that came out from the team that made Saints Row?
The one that bombed.
The one that bombed,
Agents of Mayhem.
Yes, Agents of Mayhem came out, and it was got number 14 on the NPD list. It was just a tragic misfire. And it seems like since then, these companies have figured out, like, if you target on an audience specifically instead of trying to make a broad hit, you could probably succeed. And so companies are like willing to make these investments again, especially with like a company like Microsoft willing to come up and buy content for Game Pass or whatever, and Tencent being out there sort of doing the same thing. So it's like you can get paid doing pretty much anything at any of these companies, and you don't have to work for Ubisoft and Activision. So they're going to continue to lose talent. Yep. Let's see. The Final Fantasy VII Remake PS5 upgrade is now free. I think that's free even for the people who like got it through PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it used to be like you couldn't upgrade that version, and now you can. So that's nice.
And I was always so confused. I never fully understood like the difference. I remember you had to explain it to me 7 times, and I was just like still lost. So whatever, it's free now. It's not a problem anymore. That's great. Mm-hmm. Finally, Mike, are you a Klonoa fan?
I am a Klonoa fan.
All right, I barely touched one. I was like, I've seen people get hyped about this, and I'm not sure if I get it. I'll go back. I got the new Retroid Pocket 2 Plus, which is like super amped up, which means it can run PlayStation games really easily. It can run some Dreamcast games and even a little bit of Dolphin. But I'm like, oh, Klonoa, I should go back and play that. That'd be great on here for the PlayStation 1 one. So apparently it might be coming back. Bandai Namco has re-registered for the trademark, and Klonoa appeared in a 2022 calendar for the company. What do you think is happening here?
I hope they're bringing it back. I hope they just do a collection of Klonoa 1, 2, and the Game Boy Advance one. Which you talking about this right now? I'm like, oh shit, there's a Game Boy Advance one. I got my freaking in a lock pocket. I need to get that ASAP. I literally went to like the store that sells used games and just bought almost $100 worth of Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and Game Gear games. So the Game Boy Advance was pretty slim pickings. The only thing I found that I wanted was Revenge of the Sith. But I mean, I certainly hope, like, why not just make a collection, release it on Switch? These are fantastic kind of 2.5D platformers. They have a lot of charm, a lot of personality, very good stuff. Klonoa 1, PlayStation 1, Klonoa 2, PlayStation 2, fantastic, and the Game Boy Advance one. I'd be really happy.
Yeah, I'm excited to go back and check these out. I was always like, it looks beautiful. And then I'm like, I didn't try it enough to like really give it a fair shake. I think I played like a demo disc for PS1 at some point or something.
It has like grab and like jump off the things you grab mechanics. It's one of those like, grab and throw kind of platformers. It's very good. I love it. I love there's like that little bit in during the PlayStation 1 era, it was like, Klonoa's our mascot now. And yes, I liked it, but it didn't really quite stick.
No. Still though, it's definitely a character that I remember and has a nice visual style to it. So I get why why that appealed to them. Okay, Mike, that does it for the news. Should we go into, let's go to the 2021 games. Let's put together the list. Okay, I'm going to hit the button here. It's
more time for people to send us more super chats about how they hate you.
Yes,
which will be great for me. I'm not quite convinced yet, Killer of Xbox. Maybe a few more dollars, and I'll begin to feel shame.
Honestly, he's just phoning it in. I don't feel anything right now so far. So if he wants to try,
it's just ridiculous. The last one was Killer of Xbox super chat. PlayStation will kill off Xbox in 2022. Cope Jeff. One, why would Jeff care? 2, like, okay, come on.
I just feel like his heart's not really in it anymore. No. I feel like if he really wanted to hurt me, he would say something.
What scenario could there possibly be where any of the big 3 go under in 2022? Like, come on.
All right, so on the video version, I have brought up a list via GameInformer.com, but I've also used document.design mode equals on in the console of Chrome here, and that enables me to edit the web page however I want. So we'll be erasing some of these games that we don't really care about. I've already done this for January. From January, Hitman 3 and The Medium.
Well, you gave The Medium a perfect score.
Of course. I've never played it, but yes, that's absolutely true.
I don't know. I don't care about The Medium.
I don't care about The Medium. But like, do you think it could show up in any sort of weird category about like?
I don't think either 4 of us played it even. So no.
I'm getting rid of it.
Get rid of it. Thank you.
All right. So from January, the only thing we have is Hitman 3. From February, I am going to keep Destruction All-Stars on here, even though because I just feel like and again, these award categories might not necessarily be like. Best game might be like weirdest disappointment or like
happened.
Yeah, that happened, or like it came and went and sort of thing. So I'm gonna keep Destruction All Stars. Do you have anything for Ys 9?
No, I'm kind of behind on. I haven't even played Ys 8 yet, so no, I don't have nothing to say about Ys 9. It sounds like people like it. Like, I think about as much as Ys 8. I don't know.
What about Little Nightmares 2?
Nope, got nothing about that.
I'm gonna leave that just in case maybe Rachel's played that. I know that's a game that some people like. I'm leaving Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, even though it's kind of traumatic for me now.
Right.
Because that's the game that put us in Nintendo jail.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely got some PTSD involved with that. But yeah, I don't know. Bowser's Fury it's just such a.
It's very good. It's fantastic. And
yeah, it's like the one I'm like, I should go back and play that right now.
Even just the changes they made to 3D World, I thought made that game a lot better.
Yeah, what a good collection of games there. The Sinking City, anything there?
Which one? I don't even remember what that is.
Right,
I think I get that mixed up with the Forgotten City.
I'm a little bit same here. I'm like, I feel like people talked about this. I never played it. I'm like,
I think people talked about it a bit at that time, and everyone kind of forgot.
Yeah, I think you're right. Horn Knight, Tale of Persona 5 Strikers. I am leaving up here.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'll probably have something to say about that. That game was very good. That is another one of those came out so early in your games. People kind of unfortunately forgot about it a bit, but that was way better than I was expecting it to be.
Let's see. Rogue Heroes. We were here. No. Let's see. Horn Knight. Ghost and Goblins Resurrection. A game I completely forgot about that.
I kind of like that. I didn't really play. I'm not I like a lot of retro games. I'm not the biggest Ghost and Goblins fan in the world. I would just always rather play Castlevania, and I know they aren't exactly the same, and and maybe not even that much similar, but I would just rather play one of the 15 good Castlevania games. Just
to remind people who are just tuning in, what we're doing now is we're just putting together a master list of games that we want to consider for any category during our Game of the Year. So just games that we think might be worth talking about for any reason. Let's see, Mike. You could see the games, right? Like as I'm doing this. Okay, so if you see anything that you really want to call out now, I'm assuming Bravely Default 2 is going to stay on here for some reason, but
for some reason, maybe most disappointing, honestly, as well. Keep it up there because I love Bravely Default. I even love Bravely Second a lot, which isn't nearly as popular. Bravely Default 2 did very little for me. I bounced off it, I think, after 10 hours, and it didn't go back. So that was a big disappointment, really.
Okay, and then Retromania Wrestling. Do you have anything there?
No, there was some people were buzzing about that before it came out, then it kind of came out. So and I didn't play it. I don't know how but people think about it. Maybe I'll look. But...
I wonder if that's okay. Yeah. All right, we're moving on to March. Harvest Moon One World. Was that anything?
No, I think Harvest Moon is still desperately. I think some people liked it okay, but that series is mostly just desperately trying to catch back up with Stardew Valley.
Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, that came out for Switch last year, right?
That came out, I think this was the first. I can't remember now. You're right. Well, even still, I think everyone's like, yeah, it's this again. It's fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Loop Hero is a game that I liked, but I definitely cooled on it very quickly. I'm going to leave it up there. Let's see. Sea of Solitude Director's Cut. No. Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. That was a port. Yeah. Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning for the Switch. Nope.
Port.
Okay, Mundawn. This is the game I hear people talk about. Did you touch this? I think it might be a horror game.
Oh, and there you go. Yeah, no, I'm a coward.
Yes, it was kind of the same thing. I'm gonna leave it up. I might look into it just because people seem to like it, or it's at least so interesting to so many people. But this will just serve as a reminder to me.
Adventure Sports.
You know, I'll leave up Adios because I like that when I played it.
3 seasons, Dirt 5 came to Stadia. There's a lot of nothings.
Yeah, I think March is kind of pretty dry up until a point. So let's see.
There's the Crash Bandicoot mobile game.
Yeah, there's Overcooked All You Can Eat. That was the first time we got that, but did you touch that? I think it was.
I've never played any Overcooked.
Oh, really? Okay.
Hey, it's Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Merry Christmas Eve.
All right, Rachel, let me know if you see any games you want me to keep on the list.
That we're deleting here.
Dandy Ace. I don't know what that is. El Hijo. It Takes Two is kind of the first one that I see. Oh, wait, nope. Never mind.
Ballin's got to be talked about. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be talked about. Okay, Ballin Wonderworld. Genesis Noir.
Monster Hunter Rise. Here we go. Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah,
for
here's
sure.
A bunch of games. All right, cool.
Look at all these Kingdom Hearts games.
Auto Chess, Neptunia, Virtual. Man, remember Auto Chess just as a concept?
Yeah, I remember everyone's like, well, this is the next Dota. Then it turns out, no, only those like that game, and then the one, like the immediate one that I think Lee Joyce's people made, stuck around for a bit. Yeah, that did not last super. I mean, I'm sure that those games still make money, but it did not become this thing. Hopefully, that's exactly the route the NFTs are going to take. Hopefully, we're going to call NFTs the auto chess of 2022.
Man, that'd be nice. Narita Boy, it was okay from when I played. I might just leave it on here. Tennis, we're driving by. Binding of Isaac, Repentance. I know people swear by this. I have not touched it. Have you touched this expansion for the Binding of Isaac?
I still have never played the original Binding of Isaac, and I'm going to probably need to do that at some point.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about Repentance specifically, so I might actually just jump into that pretty soon. Okay, going to April. Outriders.
Man, there's probably something to say about that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Like I don't even know if I ever even played it. I don't think I ever even installed it.
I played it and thought it was fine. And there's a lot of people who I feel like were trying to make themselves like it more than it deserved. Maybe that's just me being harsh.
I mean, I think it's like people want a game to play with their friends, right? And like they're looking for that next one, so they're trying to force that to work. I get it. Pac-Man 99, I'll leave that up there just because it's one of the few Nintendo Switch Online exclusives that came out this year. Cozy Grove, did you play any of that, Rachel?
No.
Cozy Grove, anything?
I got nothing on that.
See, I'm going. Fez came to the Switch. Ashwalkers, Super Meat Boy Forever. No.
Super Meat Boy Forever is weird because it was an auto runner.
Right.
It was like designed just to be a mobile game at one point, and then I think they're like, no, we'll really. And then people kind of didn't like it. Oh, MLB The Show. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's right. What about
the first Xbox one?
What about? Let's see, where was it? Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. I know people like that. Did you play that?
I don't know anything about that. It sounds like a U game.
Yeah, I might just use this as a reminder again. Mortals Phoenix Rising DLC. Scourgebringer is pretty good, but I think it came out in early access last year, so I feel like I might not even, and I didn't play it much this year.
Pokemon Snap, right?
This is the original Judgment. Near Replicant version 1.2, blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's something interesting there.
You know, if nothing else, the music there.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's an interesting game. I almost wish I played more of it, but it was never my highest priority. Which was kind of the issue there.
So,
yeah.
Sinking City again. New Pokemon Snap, Mike. Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, sort of talking. I still actually haven't played, but I probably is talking about like that's just because it reminds me of one of those things where I asked for something for decades, and then when I get it, I find out I actually didn't really care. I was just saying something because I don't even know why.
Yep.
So there should be a new Pokemon Snap. Then you're literally making a game called New Pokemon Snap. It's like, thanks, I won't buy it.
Returnal, that'll obviously be on here for reason. We'll find reasons to talk about that game, even if none of us love it. I still like it, and even if we're just talking about like best feeling game, like that might be a game that just rates there at the very least. All right, so for May,
it's gotta be May.
Resident Evil Village is the first one. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Any love there? I mean, I heard nothing but bad things about that game.
People hated that.
Yes, they hated it.
People were very disappointed in that. So big misfire there. Like people were initially excited because people liked those games. Like, how do you make a spiritual successor to like PlayStation 2 hack and slash and mess that up? Right, like that should be pretty easy to do. It's not a tall order. Like even like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, like. I have some problems with it, but at least it didn't it's a simple enough concept, right? It can still be fun.
Right.
Like they should have just done something like that, but instead they just totally bombed it.
Let's see here. Hood Outlaws. I mean, Resident Evil Village obviously going to be on here. Rachel's shouting about it. I'm like finishing that game right now, and it's just a well put together game, if nothing else.
It really is.
They just really understand how to make a fun one of those now.
And one of those. Good at that.
And one of those, it's also always different in a lot of key ways that like really keeps you on your toes in terms of like what to expect next. And so I'm very into what they did with that. Are you
in the where are you? Are you in the industrial guy's place?
No, but I think I'm getting there next. I think I'm about to get there.
Oh, did you do the dollhouse?
Yes, that's where I think that's where I'm. Yes, it's pretty good. Hood, Outlaws, and Legends.
Oh gosh, this was another one that had some hype going into it, and then it came out,
Yes.
and no one seemed to really care, huh?
Yeah, one of those asymmetrical. Well, and maybe it's but there's like you versus players versus the environment. Like there's and you're supposed to like go steal a treasure, and it seemed like one of those ones. Oh, this one might like slowly blow up in the way Sea of Thieves did, and I think people hated this one as well. I've never played it, so and I don't think any of us have. So I'm probably just gonna get rid of it. Call of the Sea, Destiny 2, Season of the Splicer. Any Destiny 2 play this year, Mike?
No, I'm fully just kind of the opinion of I need a Destiny 3 if I'm gonna ever get back into that. I just can't like jump back in again.
Mike, I'm sorry, Nick Turbo. Yes, we've already left Resident Evil Village on here. Before we leave, I might leave. I like that one, but it might just be for me again. Famicom Detective Club. Did you play any of these?
No, I don't know. I'm not that interested in playing pure visual novels. I need my visual novels to have some kind of fake gameplay stuff, even if it's like Phoenix Wright, where there's like the most rote kind of puzzle solving stuff. I need something there.
Later in May, Mass Effect Legendary Edition came out. I want to leave this on here just like
absolutely.
We'll probably talk about remakes and remasters for a category, and this is one of the best ones ever. I mean,
yep.
I think they did a great job with it. Subnautica, Days Gone. Do we want to talk about PlayStation PC ports like Days Gone?
Not particularly. I mean, if they were exceptional, but it was just a PC port. I mean,
right.
I think it did fine, but I don't really have
Divinity
anything to say
Original
about it.
Sin 2 came to iOS. I did not know that. SnowRunner came to Switch. We don't need to talk about that, even though I'll probably talk about it anyhow. Manifold Garden. Did you play that? I know some people were looking forward to that, but it kind of came and went. Utopia came to the Switch. Rust, Biomutant. Man, that came out this year.
Biomutant came out this year.
I'm leaving it there just because that does feel like 2 or 3 years ago already. That is
right,
wild.
Exactly. Everyone was really excited about that one.
Let's see, King of Seas, Final Fantasy 14. I will get to Endwalker here in a bit.
Yeah, that's just the PlayStation 5 update for that game. Right. That's all that is. It's just the port. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. I mean, that's an HD remaster that was fine. I don't particularly plan on talking about it. It was probably a good HD remaster, but nothing crazy there.
I think I'm gonna. Well, there we go. Okay. June. We already talked about Ghosts and Goblins. Operation Tango. World of Warcraft Burning Crusade Classic, Mike.
I mean, I don't have anything to say about it. I didn't actually play it. I mean, it made, people played it. It made money. It was a re-release of Burning Crusade.
Mighty Goose, Chivalry 2. You played some of that, right?
Yeah, Chivalry 2. I like Chivalry 2 a lot. We can talk about that.
Okay, great. Elder Scrolls Online got an expansion. And No More Heroes started coming to PC. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. That did come out this year,
Yeah, we can talk
right?
about that. Actually, gosh, that's something I still need to play. Is that other episode, the Yuffie episode? But that was one of the better PlayStation 5 upgrades. I feel like we got. That looked really good.
Game Builder Garage. I'm gonna put that on there. I will find an excuse to talk about that game. And then, do you go to Gear Strive? None of us are really fighting game players. Mike, should I leave it on here?
I mean, I didn't play it. I have nothing to say about it. I play fighting games sometimes. So that one I just didn't for whatever reason. Just didn't.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart will definitely be on this list.
It will be. Everyone can take another opportunity to tell us why they didn't like it.
I just like people. The main complaint there's two main complaints people always put against that one. The rifts aren't as important as they said in the marketing, which so what? And they're like, oh, it's just another Ratchet game. I'm like, I mean, it's a very good one of those. What is your problem with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's actually not a criticism.
It's like it wasn't going to become a Mario game all of a sudden.
Right. So Fallen Order was supported. Wingspan. Trying to see if there's Lego's Builder's Journey was a pretty chill game. I want to keep that on the list.
I remember you liked that, yeah.
Yeah. It's like cheap and short and really easy. I feel like most people. Well, I mean, like very simple to get into. I feel like more people would probably get into it if they gave it a chance. It's on Switch. People should try. Let's see. Do we want to talk about Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, where you could play as the Sonic mascot?
That's the only thing I even know about that game. Yep. Everything else is just inferred.
Mario Golf Super Rush, that can go on here. It's
something
not
to talk about there.
Something. Yeah, there will be stuff to talk about there. Scarlet Nexus. Did you play that?
No, I didn't. I know people do like it, and it's kind of Tales esque, but I was always like, I'm gonna wait to play Tales of Arise, and then maybe later I'll get the Scarlet Nexus. But I did not even play it.
I might give Scarlet Nexus a try. I'm just gonna leave it on here. Doom Eternal ports, Skytra, Greedfall. I know people play Greedfall and people play Disgaea 6, but did we play any of these?
Greedfall is just an update that was a launch game for PlayStation 5, so that technically came out last year. So
okay,
let's
cool.
say there.
All right. Blaster Master Zero port in July. So yeah, we're in July. Looking for anything new. Streets of Rage 4 on Stadia. That's pretty big, Mike.
It is. I didn't play Monster Hunter Stories 2, sadly.
All right, here we go. The moment of truth. Well, here, I'll leave Skyward Sword HD on here as another remaster. It sounds like we'll probably just do a category on that. Death's Door.
I just haven't played this one. And I'm running out of time, Jeff. I don't know if I'm going to get to it.
I'm leaving it on here. I'm leaving it on.
Maybe I'll download it on my Switch tonight and try to start it at least. See what I
mean,
feel
you're just so busy playing Inscription, right?
That must be it.
Pokemon Unite.
Yeah, keep that on there.
I'm keeping it on there. It's like, I played some of that, so I'm like, I feel like, we could probably just talk about that. Contra Returns for the iOS and Android. Microsoft Flight Simulator on console, no. Chernobylite, did you touch any? I mean, I feel like that's the one I was supposed to play.
Did you keep Neo the World Ends With You on there in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles?
I will. Let me do that.
Yeah, keep those.
This is what I have you here for, Mike. All right. Okay. Samurai Warriors 5, however.
I think you saw Neo the World Ends With You and thought it was just gibberish and forgot that was a mildly important game this year.
Yep. It just like my eyes glazed over. I could not even register what I was reading as words. There we go. Chernobylite. I'm leaving it on there again as maybe a reminder. I'm like gonna like do a roulette wheel and just try some of these games and see if any of them stick in the first 5 minutes. Forgotten City's definitely getting on here. It's a great game. Oh, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Series, Mike. Are we going to have any reason to talk about that?
I haven't played them. I mean, I could yell about them again, but I'd rather not. So we can just not worry about them.
Okay. The Ascent. I played a good long while of that, but not. I don't know. It's not like in my heart or anything.
I haven't touched it.
Okay. I'll leave it just in case. Okay. August. Grime, Hunter Arena, The Ramp. The Ramp is interesting, but it's probably not going to come up. Maybe. Dreamscaper, Dodgeball Academia. It's like one of those sports RPG games that was okay. It's on Game Pass, but I don't know. It also didn't stick out to me too much. Button City got Lawn Mowing Simulator, Mike. It's probably...
Man, yeah, that sounds like a U game. Man, I forgot Axiom Verge 2 came out. I'm kind of down-ish on Axiom Verge 1. Like, a lot of people like that a lot and say it's one of their favorite Metroidvanias, and I thought it was fine. And then I feel like when Axiom Verge 2 came out, people seemed to be like, it's not as good as the first one, so then I kind of lost interest in it. Maybe
it's very different from the first one. They like do a lot of interesting stuff. I was into what I played, but I fell off of it. Art of Rally is a good game. I'm gonna leave that on there. It's that like isometric racing game that's beautiful. It's more about driving than it is about winning. It's very cool. Naraka Blade Point, no. Paw Patrol the movie, Adventure City Calls. That's a big one with my kids.
I bet.
Humankind.
Humankind. Do I need to play Humankind before we talk about things? I don't think so. Did. I don't think it's that important, right?
No.
Sounds like it's a game that people keep expecting to be better in like a year from now.
Exactly. It's gonna take time for them to really find their footing with that. That's true with Civilization games. So, should we put the Quake remaster on here? Should we just leave that here?
Yeah, we should, because that ruled.
It was very good.
We need to play that horde mode they added.
Yes, we should play that horde mode. Yeah. Recompile. Did you have anything for Recompile? It's that one with
which one was it?
It's the one with like the all red digital character. It's sort of like a weird Metroidvania. It got kind of middle in reviews.
Okay, now I got nothing on that.
Yeah, I didn't even. Look into
12 minutes. I almost feel like you need to play 12 minutes just to talk about it.
I've been avoiding it, but I think you're probably right.
I think you need to see what's going on.
It sounds so miserable and long. If we're leaving remasters on here, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut.
I mean, I didn't play it. I got nothing to say about it. I like Ghost of Tsushima, but I beat it. Then I didn't want to play it again.
You 12 minutes, says chat, says Rachel. Yeah, I have no real desire to play that anymore. But I feel like I should as well. Psychonauts 2 though, that can go on here.
Yeah.
Spelunky 2, is Spelunky 2 one? No, that was just a port.
This is Switch. Yeah.
Townscaper, I love that one, but I feel like that came out last year. Baldo, the Guardian Owls was one I was really looking forward to, and I feel like that one also got middling reviews. I played a little bit of it, but I don't know. No More Heroes 3, Mike. Anything there?
No, we famously are both barely even understand what No More Heroes is. Like, I never had any.
I played a little bit of it, and it seemed fine until you get to the open world, and it kind of it lost me. Rustler is very good. I'm leaving that on here. That's Grand Theft Horse. Let's see. All right, September. Ark Survival Evolved came to Stadia. Jesus Christ. Lake. Any love for Lake, Mike?
Don't know what Lake is, Jeff.
It's a game where a computer programmer in the 80s goes back to their hometown to deliver mail for 2 weeks, and
Oh, okay, I do know that game.
And it's not more than it seems, is I think is the actual twist, where it's like you basically just deliver mail and get to know people. El Shaddai.
I don't want to do that.
El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron is always great to see, but we don't need to talk about that actually. Big Rumble Boxing, Creed Champions, Nope, Golf Club Wasteland. I like that game for a bunch of reasons, and I'll probably find a reason to talk about it.
I kind of want to talk about Sonic Colors Ultimate, maybe, so you can keep that there.
Okay, we should play Fist Forged in Shadow. People say that's a really good Metroidvania. I'll check that. Sonic Colors Ultimate, all right, on there. Blood Rain Betrayal, Fresh Bites, Night in the Woods on iOS. Artful Escape is one that people really like. It is winning one of our Community Game of the Year award showdowns right now. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it on here and see if I get around to it. Life is Strange True Colors. Man, September's pretty busy. Lost in Random. A lot of things there. Yeah, go ahead.
We have 3 big games in a row there. We got Tales of Rise, WarioWare, and Cruisin' Blast.
Yeah, there you go. Man, okay.
And then then Darksiders 3, no. Like a port, then Deathloop right after that. Jeez.
Yeah. Eastward is one that I know people like. I didn't touch it though. Skatebird was a very disappointing to me, but I was disappointed like when I first played the demo, so I knew it was going to be disappointing before I ever played it. Deltarune Chapter 2, Mike. Are you waiting for like all Deltarune to come out? Is that what you're doing?
No. In fact, I was just thinking last night that I do need to play this because when it came out, I was playing something else, so I didn't touch it right away. And now I think I want to play Deltarune Chapter 2. I might even do that tonight. That seems like a kind of cozy Christmas
thing
to do.
I think I'm going to play True Colors. Rachel saying leave that on there, and I think I'm probably going to really like that game. So it takes place in Colorado, so I got to be a homer.
Yeah.
Kena, Bridge of Spirits, Mike. Yes or no?
Keep that. Absolutely.
Toem, I didn't touch. I feel like Nino no Kuni 2 we don't need because that's just
a port.
Yep.
Of an okay game.
Right. Shelter 2, what was the Pokemon Unite? Already got that. ActRaiser Renaissance.
ActRaiser Renaissance was interesting just because I heard, people say this game was controversial and usually just means people don't like it. ActRaiser Renaissance actually seemed controversial, where I heard some people saying it was dog shit and people saying, no, this is good. I didn't play it though, so I have nothing to say about it, but it was interesting just to hear what people said.
I'll leave it on here just as a reminder to us that it came out this year. Castlevania Advanced Collection, I'm going to find some reason to talk about that.
Oh, absolutely.
Diablo 2 Resurrected.
There's nothing to talk about there. And it was good, actually. It was just good. It was.
Yep. This is the Forgotten City
I still
Switch
feel
version.
Like I don't know. I still feel like I don't know if I can bring it to myself to put that in my top 10, even though I probably I don't know. I have to think about it.
I like it. I like it more than a lot of games that came out this year.
I do, but it's weird.
I'm going to leave Death Stranding's director's cut on here just because. Sable, Rachel, did you have any love for Sable? Trying to see if anyone on our staff actually played it. I played a little bit of it. It wasn't for me.
I never played. Yeah, I just kind of immediately was like, people don't seem that high on it. I'm okay.
Lost Judgment, Mike.
Lost Judgment. I didn't play it, but if people like it, maybe we should just keep it there to remind ourselves. At some point, maybe should play it. But some people liked it a lot.
Ghost Runner came out last year's support, I think. Luminous Gate is one I wanted to try. I never got around to it. Neo: The World Ends With You. This is the PC port. New World, Mike.
New World's interesting. That's pretty interesting. So can you talk about there?
So Amazon's MMO is going to make this initial cut. Insurgency Sandstorm. Hot Wheels Unleashed is one that I still need to play, and it's installed, and for some reason I just keep forgetting to start it up. So I'm going to do that soon too.
There you go.
That'll be a good Christmas break one. Unsighted. Unsighted, Mike. People like Unsighted. Did you touch it?
No, which one's Unsighted?
I honestly don't even remember. Yeah, I don't even remember. So I'm just gonna leave it here again as a reminder, and I'm gonna check it out. And if it's nothing, I'll get rid of it. And that I have it messed up anyhow. There we go. All right. All right. Scrolling down here for October. FIFA 22. No.
No. Just no.
Alan Wake remastered, Mike. Any? Should we keep that as one of the remasters or no? Because I'm like, I could care. I don't really.
I don't
care.
I don't have any strong opinions about it. No.
Hell Let Loose is one I wish I would have played more of.
Jet the Far sure felt like Sable to me. It was another one of those indie games people were looking forward to, and then it came out. And people seemed like,
I think I have a code, and I don't even think I ever actually even tried it.
Can you close that ad that's blocking things?
Yeah, I want to. It's like it's counting down before it'll let me close it. There we go. Jet the Far Shore. No. Lego Marvel Superheroes for Switch. No. Nickelodeon All Stars Battle Royale. All Star Brawl. Whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it feels like that's starting a whole new wave of Smash clones.
Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania.
Absolutely.
The fucking ear.
Far Cry. I apparently like that more than anyone else in the world. No, I actually do hear other people like more. I like that more than any other critic in the world. I guess.
Yes, yeah. I think there's some fans out there that are really into it. Far Cry 6 will stay on here. I'm sure I'll find a reason to talk about that.
Definitely things to talk about with it.
Yes.
Like how I loved it and was defending a horrible company. But
yeah. Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. It's not my thing. But I wonder
it's not my thing yet. I bet once I finally do play it, maybe it will be my thing, and I'll be obnoxious about it. But I have not played it.
Metroid Dread.
Oh yeah, yep.
You think so? Oh, okay.
I do think so, Jeff. Just call me crazy, but I think so.
Back for Blood will stay on here for. I'm sure again we'll find a reason to talk about that. Circuit Superstars.
Tetris Effect Connected was almost worth talking about just because I didn't expect it to be such an interesting Switch port, and it was. But I don't.
That's actually an interesting point. All right, I'll leave that on there. Disco Elysium: The Final Cut for like remaster, sort of upgrade, sort of re-release categories. No, I'll get rid of it. Jackbox Party Pack 8. We played a little bit of that.
They're always good. I don't know what to say about them. I haven't played this one specifically. Unless that was the one we played.
I think it's the one we played. Yeah. So
it's good.
I'll leave it on there. We'll see. NHL 22. I'm leaving that on there. It's actually good this year. Inscription. Definitely. Have you started Inscription?
No, you told me to play Thing first. Although
that's right. That's how you forgot.
I think I might play some Inscription soon. Now I think I might take a break from Lost City, Forgotten City. You got it eventually.
Into the Pit, Corpse Party, Townscaper again, Echo Generation, Resident Evil 4 VR. I have not played that, and I won't play that until probably tomorrow because I'm gonna open up the Quest 2 with my family. Dark Pictures Anthology, House of Ashes. I think Dean likes that, so I'll leave that on there. I think
you're right. Yeah, you did play that.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. That'll definitely be on here. That's in my top 10 now.
That's what I should probably start.
Yeah, I think if you start and you have any sort of affinity for it, see it through. Pikmin Bloom, I will leave on here. I'll find a reason for me. Age of Empires 4, I think that's another Dean one.
Yeah.
That's one I wish I had more time for, but I'm not going to be able to play that this year. Riders Republic, yes or no?
Gosh, that's one that one's weird. Did Rachel play that? Somebody played that.
I think it's like one of the ones I think Rachel first started playing when she first joined us. So I'll leave it on here. I played a little bit of it, and I did not like it. I did not like the way it felt to play. But a game I did not like to play, but still enjoyed playing, Mario Party Superstars. That'll be on here.
Wait, what'd you say about it? You didn't like...
I don't enjoy playing it, but I enjoy playing it. It's
really?
I mean, it's miserable because if you get like a series of like bad mini games, it's like, oh man, I stink at these, or other people are better, and then you still end up having a really good time. Like that's Mario Party.
I actually loved it when we played. I thought it was so much. I liked it. I like it more than Super Mario Party.
Oh yeah, it's the ideal form of what a Mario Party should be. They really got it right. I'm trying to see November. I feel like November was like weirdly light, and so far that's been the case. Animal Crossing New Horizons Happy Home Paradise DLC. Anything there?
I don't have anything to say about that.
Me neither. Call of Duty Vanguard. We can just get rid of that now. Maybe Dean will forget it came out.
Dean will forget it. I don't think so.
Forza Horizon 5. That can. Oh, I just deleted everything on the entire list.
Wow.
Go back here.
God damn it, Jeff.
All right, yeah, Forza Horizon 5, and then Jurassic World Evolution 2.
That's one I also have and haven't played yet. Maybe keep it on there just for my memory's sake.
Bright Memory Infinite. Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. I'm leaving it on here.
Yeah, there's something to talk about there.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic for Switch.
Yeah.
I'm leaving that on there too. I started playing that again last night, and yes. Man, the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim Special Edition. I'm gonna leave that on there too. Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Leave it on there.
All right. The Smurfs Mission Relief Smurftastic Edition.
Smurftastic. Well, if it's Smurftastic, it has to be good.
That's what I say. The Wild at Heart. I think that's just a port. Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier.
Yeah, this came out. I wonder how it's doing. I wonder if people like it.
I've seen some people say they really like it, but I booted it up and then never actually played a match. I think I still have it on my phone, and I could like stream from my phone. I should just do that here pretty soon. XO1 is one I want to try, and I have it installed, so I'll just do that at some point. Battlefield 2042. We will find a reason to talk about that. I think.
I think so.
Pokemon BDSM.
Yep. So close.
Farming the Death Store. I think we have Death Store on here, but I can't remember for sure.
We do.
Okay. Disney Classic Games Collection.
That was just them. They added what did they add? They added the Jungle Book game to the other things. I think there's nothing there.
Did Oddworld Soulstorm come out for PlayStation last year? I thought that was earlier this year.
Yeah, PlayStation 4 or something last year. I don't know. It's not new.
Okay.
And people also don't like it that much. Some people think it's fine.
And then December. Let's see here. Solar Ash is one that I want to try to play. But I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get around to it. People love Chorus, that Chores game. Yeah. This is like a good reminder that these games came out because I've forgotten about both of those, really. Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker. I'll just get rid of that now.
Wow. Don't even. You'll be in big trouble.
Halo Infinite, that can stay. Legend of Mana for iOS and Android. What the hell?
Yeah, you already missed it earlier when it was the actual remaster that came out on consoles, but I didn't play it. I had nothing to say.
The Analog Pocket.
No, that's hardware. God, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. I should pay. People seem actually pretty happy.
Yeah,
with that.
I have that. I'll get a chance to play it here at some point. Among Us, no. Pray for the Gods, Smurfs Mission Relief Smurftastic Edition.
Wow, this one's Smurftastic too.
Yep. Man, just Smurftastic and all over the place. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Mike, are you going to stream that and become a major streamer?
Yeah, I'll scream, force my screams. That'll be great.
The Gunk is just a very okay game.
So you have come around to popular consensus now.
Yeah, I mean, I played enough.
I tried telling you it wouldn't be that good.
Oh my god!
I
had high hopes. I'm sorry, it just didn't live up to SteamWorld Dig 2. But what possibly could? All right, I think that's gonna do it. You know, I actually will leave the Gunk on there though.
Yeah, sure. Why not? All right. That seems that this chat thinks there's anything that somehow was on this list that we missed. Let us know. But I think that does it, Jeff. I think that's everything I'm possibly going to consider.
I think it does. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make sure that I don't lose this. I'm just going to real quick highlight everything and go put it in a doc for us. All right, Mike.
I have a doc already, but I don't know if you could format it very easily.
I'll just put it in a doc for me, and then I'll transfer it for us. And make sure none of the stuff's missing. Mike, do we have any super chats?
We do. Do you want to do the next round of the Game of the Year things, or want me to do these super chats first?
Let's do the next round of the Game of the Year chats. Let me get to that right now. Or Game of the Year voting.
Game of the Year chats. What's the chat of the year?
Chat of the year.
Money.
I'm sure it was some insult against me. I'm sure that's what it was.
That's absolutely true.
All right. And you know what? We have the screen already set up for this, so we can do that pretty easily. So let me widen it out here a little bit. There we go. So if you're watching live, you should be able to see the voting and how it's breaking down.
How was the Gunk even up for consideration? Oh my god!
So basically, it was just based on nominations, and it was like I think I might have put it on at like number 32 just because we weren't sure if it was going to make it or not.
Fair enough.
But hey, it didn't really have much of a chance against Psychonauts 2.
No.
Psychonauts 2 won with 89% of the vote. You know what? Actually, we have 140 responses now. That's like 30 of them came in since we started or something like that. So I'm going to turn off responses. All right, there we go. So we're locked in.
Psychonauts 2. As I get to the end of the year, I like it more than I even thought I did when I think about it again.
Yeah.
And Psychonauts 2 is a lot of fun.
Now that I have my fixed Xbox, that's one I need to finish, but I've really enjoyed it. Which game is best between Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Nier Replicant version 1.2 blah blah blah. This is one of our first upsets here, where Shin Megami Tensei 5 had more nominations, but Nier Replicant in the final voting came out on top with 58% of the vote.
I would have guessed, Jeff. I want to guess these now. From now on, I would have guessed Nier there, and I would have looked smart. So from now on, I'm gonna guess. I'm not looking anymore.
Okay, don't look, because I scrolled down and I scrolled back up. So okay, the next one is Returnal versus Bowser's Fury.
Oh, well, gosh, that's interesting. Just knowing our audience, I'm going to say Bowser's Fury.
And the winner is Bowser's Fury with 62% of the vote. Another upset there in terms of the nomination rankings, which is how I did the seeding. Basically, I looked at how many nominations these games got, and Returnal got way more than Bowser's Fury, but in the end, Bowser's Fury came out on top. Okay, Deathloop versus Neo: The World Ends With You.
Oh, Deathloop, easy Deathloop.
With 84% of the vote, Deathloop is our winner in that showdown.
Good on everyone.
This one's very easy. Forza Horizon 5 versus Fights in Tight Spaces.
Wow. Okay, yeah, Forza.
Fights in Tight Spaces is a great game, everybody. Forza Horizon 5 wins with 94% of the vote.
94. There you go.
All right, here's our tough one. With 128 responses, Persona 5 Strikers versus The Artful Escape.
That is a tough one. I'll just say Persona 5 Strikers because I like it slightly more. I know. I didn't. Yeah. What is it? With
52% of the vote, The Artful Escape just barely edges out Persona 5 Strikers. The people that like Artful Escape really like it. Like the game of the year talk from them. All right, another tough one: Guardians of the Galaxy versus Monster Hunter Rise with 131 responses.
I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy wins that.
With 64% of the vote, Guardians of the Galaxy came out on top.
I like Monster Hunter Rise a lot.
I feel like, again, like I think people that played a lot of Monster Hunter Rise are like, that's my game of the year. So just slightly smaller audience.
Well, plus Guardians of the Galaxy has a bit more of a zeitgeist right now. It's
exactly. I think you're right. That's what I meant when I said audience. All right, a very, very close one with 131 responses. Tales of Arise versus The Forgotten City.
Okay, come on, let's go. Tales of Arise, boys. Arise up. Arise up.
We've gotten 30 more responses since we started this, or at least 20 more, with 51% of the vote. Wow. The Forgotten City is our winner.
Our audience just hates JRPGs, it turns out. I'm disappointed.
There we go. Let's go and take a look. And that's gonna do it. So let me get let me update this. So
that was close. Look at that. Oh man, 51.1, 48.9 for Tales. That's sad.
All right, I'm gonna let everyone get a good look at the thing right now while I update this. I think Persona 5 Strikers basically won by how much? Let me just hit this.
Persona 5 Strikers lost, remember?
Yes, that's right. The Artful Escape, right. It's not even responding to me anyhow. Let me refresh it real quick. and challenge is broken. Okay, well, we'll do that later then.
Sure.
Okay, let me get rid of that.
You ready for super chats then?
Mike, I'm ready for the super chats. Let's do it.
Yeah, so, Major Blaze just said, Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas to you. Jeffrey Dudley said, Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks for the entertainment. Thank you for the entertainment. That was entertaining reading that just now. Jackie G says, is it easier to review a really good game or bad game? I think good games are easy to review. We don't review that many bad games, really, because we're a smaller staff. When we review games, it's usually because somebody wants to, or it's like a really big game. And really big games, like say what you will, it's often that they're honestly terrible, right? Like Far Cry 6 even. Is it a terrible game? I can't really, no, it's just kind of bland and boring. And those are the hardest games to actually review, are those middling games. Like writing a review for Far Cry 6, I bet would have been really hard, because I'm just it's this again.
Yeah, I feel the same way, where it's like I'm like, oh, I know I'm not driving with this game, but it's not so like Balan Wonderworld. It was very obvious all the reasons that game was terrible. It was very easy to give it 1 star and to tell everyone why I hate it. When it's something that is just sort of like, they missed something here, and now I need to find out what that is so I can explain it to people. That's a chore, and it's difficult.
Zach M says, Merry season of cucking, Jeff, Mike, and mods. Merry season of cucking to you as well.
Merry season of cucking, everybody.
It's going to be a shirt someday. It's going to go over really well at your next family Christmas party. Hope you both have a great holiday, says Ed. Any idea on how long the next BioShock has been in development for, and when we should see it? Seen conflicting reports.
Yeah, I mean, it's been in works for like 4 or 5 years or something like that, and it's I think that we should start. I think we'll see it next year. We'll probably see it next year. The reason we're hearing more and more about it is because it's getting pretty close. So yeah, expect it next year. In terms of seeing it, I don't know when it'll come out.
T-Bone85 says, what do you guys think of Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island? It seems to not be considered a Mario game, but it always has been my favorite in the series. Is it a Mario game? I do not think it's a Mario game, but it's a fantastic game. It's very obviously one of Nintendo's best 2D games ever, maybe their best 2D game. Certainly, if it's not in your Super Nintendo top 5, I almost don't trust you.
Yeah, I love Yoshi's Island. It was I talked about this on Grubb Snacks yesterday. So if you want more about my topic about this, or more on this topic, I talked about it a lot there. But basically, it was just like so awesome to get a game that was so good, even as these new systems were coming out. But it's like, wow, Yoshi's Island. I'm like, I'd rather just play this than almost anything I see coming out anywhere else. It was kind of awesome to get that.
Super Nintendo had a really strong like end of life lineup, because he had Yoshi's Island, Chrono Trigger was later,
Donkey Kong Country games.
Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 were later, and freaky Mario RPG was like not even that long before Mario 64. So even Super Metroid was kind of a laterish game, wasn't it? So yeah. Pretty nuts there. We got some good ones. Xbox Lost, PlayStation 1 said, tell Jeff stop ducking me. Xbox shill. Jeff Grubb, how are we possibly ducking him? We read his insults to you live on air.
I don't know, but thank you for the money.
Yeah, thank you for money. Then I think so. Then he said something in chat and got put on timeout, so he went on off the count as killer of Xbox. It said Jeff lied about Kojima, Xbox, the Game Awards, and Starfield 2021. This one I think he has copy pasted somewhere, because he says this one a lot.
Yeah, he says, and this is where I'm like, oh man, he's phoning it in, not even trying anymore. It like hurts my feelings that he's not even trying.
Both things that are easily proved that you did not say were going to happen.
Yep.
But oh well.
Yep,
Let's get his last one here now while we're on the subject. Then he said, killer of Xbox said, PlayStation will kill off Xbox in 2022. Cope, Jeff. Yeah, Jeff, just get over it. Yeah. Just accept that PlayStation is going to kill off Xbox. There will be no more Xbox. They're clearly on a downward spiral right now.
Yeah, and PlayStation's going to be right there with the candlestick behind them, knocking them out and killing them. Yeah.
Well, we know that's what Sony really cares about. It's not being successful in their own right. It's about killing off this competitor in this imaginary war that people have created. This imaginary war
that gets these people to be excited to spend $70 on something, almost to the point where maybe PlayStation likes having this competition around, so that weirdos like this spend more money on their games.
Oh yeah,
probably not. Nothing like that.
Merry, you know what, killer of Xbox, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, killer of Xbox.
I hope you get everything you want, except for the death of Xbox next year, because that's not going to happen. Kung Fu Hotdog says, Mike, you mentioned wanting laser eye surgery. I was just talking to my friend about this too. I had the operation in 2003 and never looked back. Cool thing is that you wear sunglasses after treatment. Merry Xmas lads. Cool. Jeff, don't forget the room tour. I'll tell you what, it's like I'm not a sunglasses guy. It'll be weird to me to have to wear sunglasses. I have never worn sunglasses for more than 5 minutes, probably.
You're just a sunny guy. You can handle all the sunshine in your eyes possible. I feel like I have sensitive eyes, but I got my glasses and they transition into sunglasses when I'm in sunlight, Mike. So that's what they are. They kind of look. I actually don't like the way they look. They have sort of like a pervy look to them. Like they don't go fully black, so it's like you can still see my eyes glancing behind this sort of shaded glass, and it looks, I don't know, it makes me look weird. I don't like it too much.
I think once the holidays are all done, I'm going to start seriously looking into that, I think.
All right.
Nintendo Bro says, dangly thing and mouth from our epic Jackbox PlayStation. That's a good memory. That's one of my favorite memories of the year, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say, we should do moment of the year as part of our game of the year discussion. And
might be dangly thing and mouth. Might be dangly thing and mouth.
Yep.
Isaac Spencer says, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Thanks for providing a wonderful Christmas Eve show. Hope you both and all of GamesBeat staff have a safe holiday. Thank you, Isaac Spencer. Same to
likewise.
You. Jeff, that is it for our super chats.
Okay, I've got some questions from the community. First, though, let's hop back to this thing now that it's working. Here are the matchups for round 2 for our Game of the Year community voting. I will put a link up after the show. make sure you remind me to do that if it goes by too long and I haven't done it yet.
Man, it's gonna be. We got some interesting ones here. I mean, Metroid Dread's gonna beat Lost Judgment. That's gonna be easy. But then Hitman 3 versus Resident Evil Village is gonna be very interesting.
A tough one.
Halo 5 is probably gonna destroy Inscription. I'm sorry to say for your friend there. It Takes Two and Death's Door could be interesting, but probably It Takes Two. Psychonauts 2 has an easy win over Shin Megami Tensei 5. I think Deathloop has an easy win over Bowser's Fury. Really, Forza Horizon has an easy win over Artful Escape, I think, and then Guardians of the Galaxy and Forgotten City is going to be very interesting. I think Resident Evil Village and Hitman 3 and the Forgotten City and Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be the two interesting ones here.
Yeah, I think that things are going to get real tough next time because like Metroid Dread versus Resident Evil Village or Hitman 3, that'll be pretty tough. I still think Metroid Dread's probably going to have a cakewalk till the end. Halo Infinite versus It Takes Two, that's pretty tough if that's what happens next round. Psychonauts 2 versus Deathloop. I mean, if the things go the way we expect, like next round's going to be really tough. Okay, I will put that voting up. The link will be in the description, everybody, so keep an eye out for that. Okay, let me drop this and get over to...
Oh, wait, Jeff, didn't Shin Megami Tensei 5 lose to Nier? Remember I told you last time that happened, you didn't fix it?
Yeah, let me fix that. I'll get...
Thank you, Nick Turbo, for recognizing. I forgot.
Let me just do that right now. Let's do... You know what? That's changed. That must have changed after I put it up there. People must have really actually flipped that one around because it was 60-40 before we started the show. So...
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's a big change.
Well, we got another super chat in as you're doing that. Jared Helder says, Merry Christmas, guys. Bowser's Fury is my game of the year. Do you think it would have been highlighted more if it was released separately from 3D World for $30? I think it did exactly what it needed to do because that game sold very well. I mean, I don't think you could. I think even selling that for even $30 might have been a little weird. It is pretty short. I think what they did was perfect for it. I think it worked out well for everybody. And then Capono5150 says, I think 2022 will be a great year for Jeff to repair the relationship with PlayStation gamers. Good luck, Jeff, and hope you and the family as well. I think the PlayStation gamers need to repair their relationship with Jeff. I don't think Jeff ever did anything to deserve any of that, but obviously I'm probably biased there. But, sure.
I think you might be onto something there, Mike. Yeah, it's like, I think they need to just chill out a little bit more than anything.
I don't think Jeff has never had any real ill feelings towards the PlayStation brand or its fans.
Yeah,
really.
I'm like, yeah, guys, it's gonna be okay. I like many of these games, and you don't seem to care when I do. You only care when I don't. So
right, yeah, it's like
seems on you.
Yeah, you weren't that into Returnal. Like we talk about Ratchet & Clank. I don't know how many times we talk
constantly.
about it.
Every episode we talk, and they're
we
like,
defend it constantly. Now is our thing.
And you know what? The thing is, I think they don't like it as much as we do, and so they just put their ears and their fingers in their air, and that's that. Like, so whatever.
Oh wow.
All right, so we got a handful of responses. Here's the first one from Giggy. Beef season greetings. Thank you, Giggy. I got an Oculus Quest 2 for Christmas! ! What are some must-have VR games I should get? I bought Super Hot VR. It's amazing. I played that years ago now. It was very good when I played it. And I tried out VR Chat. It's horrifying. But other than Beat Saber, I don't know what else to get. I don't have a PC to play other VR games, so I am limited to the games only available on the Oculus Store at the moment. Happy holidays, Beef Bros.
Yeah, I mean, get Half-Life Alyx, probably. That's certainly worth playing.
Well, that's only on PC, so he said it doesn't have a PC for that stuff. So you already fucked up.
Oh, it doesn't work on Oculus Quest 2, really?
Not yet. I'm sure. I bet that comes to Oculus Quest.
I guess I know very little. Okay, now I feel very stupid. Well, I'll tell you what. How about is that Star Trek game on there, Bridge Commander, whatever it was?
I bet that does work. I bet they ported that.
I thought that game was super fun. People seem pretty high on that Resident Evil 4 port. I tell you what. So
I like The Climb, which is a mountain climbing game. Where it's like, you're just using the hand controllers to pull yourself up, and you're like looking for the path, and it's kind of a Zen experience. But I really liked it. Resident Evil 4 VR, I haven't played it, but it's Resident Evil 4. Heard a lot of good things about that. Rec Room is like VR chat, but with stuff to do, and I really like Rec Room, and it's free to play. So check that out.
People chat saying Job Simulator, Star Wars, Vader, Immortal. If you like the kind of Rick and Morty humor, there's like the Rick and Morty game that's basically like Job Simulator, but then they also made their own game with Trevor Saves the World or something, which is pretty fun. I tell you what, I really wish that Sony would just put Astro's Playroom on, or Astrobot Rescue Mission, to other platforms, because that's such a good game.
That'd be great.
That would make me very happy.
One I haven't tried yet, but I will, Carve Snowboarding, from the guy that made 1080. He made a snowboarding game for VR, so check that out. Okay, let's see here. From Cranchus McBasketball.
Nice.
Just fills me with cheer every time I see
Apparently,
it.
this is a reference from that show where they do the pranks or whatever. My brother told me, I had no idea. Impractical Jokers. Apparently, this is an Impractical Jokers reference.
Huh. I'm like, we're out of touch. I guess we're just out of touch. We just don't
We're
know
out of
what's
touch.
going
My
on.
much hipper brother, who's a year younger than me, knew what was up. So.
From Cranchus McBasketball, do you think we will see a follow-up to the Pokemon Let's Go games? I do.
People like Gold and Silver almost as much as Red and Yellow. They will definitely at least want to go to the well one more time for that. It might be slightly harder to get away with that with Ruby and Sapphire, but maybe they can do it anyways. Like, why not?
Right.
I think that they'd be pretty silly to not try to do something like that with Gold and Silver. I mean, why not?
From Gigamir, can you explain how NFTs are harmful to the environment? What does proof of stake and proof of work mean? All right, we'll make this really quick. I'm trying to make a resolution not to speak about NFTs as much until we're confronted with another reason. But when people ask, we'll answer. NFTs are harmful to the environment because of typically proof of stake technology, which is it's a blockchain where you basically get GPUs in a computer or other systems to solve these really complex mathematical equations, and it causes the GPUs to run at very high energy usage and very hot, and for no other reason than to solve these made-up equations to prove that these transactions are secure. So if you mint a new NFT to say, oh, I own this thing on this blockchain, and now everything on the blockchain shows that I own it, that requires real world energy use. Now, proof of work is much more efficient. It uses a lot less energy, but then therefore it is also less secure and kind of defeats the purpose of using blockchain in the first place. So it's kind of a weird trade-off where it's like, why are we still pretending that this is blockchain and secure if it's not as secure? But whatever. That's the basic difference that you really need to know between proof of stake and proof of work is they're basically the same, but proof of work is less secure and way more energy efficient, and it's what a lot of games are using, which kind of proves it's just marketing, and that's why they're actually it doesn't really matter that they're using NFTs. But for most NFTs that are like on like the Ethereum network or something like that, they require a lot of energy to mint those things and to do transactions and stuff like that. And it's and when I say a lot of energy, it's like minting one piece of art on the Ethereum chain can require as much energy as a household of 4 uses in Germany for an entire year, like that sort of thing. Like that's happened before. So it's the kind of thing where it's just burning energy for no good reason as far as we could see, because what's a good reason to use it to have NFTs? There's not very many, at least no reason that you can't do without NFTs. From Poppy Woppy, Merry Christmas. What movies and or shows do you guys actually enjoy?
Wow.
Man.
Fair.
Yeah, I get it. Mike, I think we might have been before we started this. So for our podcast listeners, we were talking about how you feel bad like watching movies these days because a lot of times when you don't like it, you feel like a frumpy wumpy about it or whatever.
Like a frumpy wumpy, out of touch grumpy.
Yes. I feel the same way with a lot of TV, which is like what happened with The Mandalorian, right? Where I'm like,
I gave you shit for that.
Yeah, and I felt like giving you shit about The Matrix, but I'm like, I also sort of totally understand what he's saying too. The things I like, there's not many TV shows I like right now.
They really aren't. The TV's been rough for me.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like, we were in such a golden era, but even then, like I go back, I went back and rewatched Breaking Bad, and even that, I'm like, I don't think I like this as much as I used to. Why can't I enjoy things? I'm at a point where I'm like, most TV is kind of trash, except for The Sopranos, and it's okay that it's trash. I'll just try to enjoy it on that level. For movies, I'm trying to think if there's anything. But Mike, do you have an answer to this question? That's something you actually enjoy?
I did like the new Spider-Man. I did.
Yes, I did too.
I mean, I assume you're talking about new things, so I still obviously like all the old things.
Yes.
Not even just that I just grew up with, but I still like going back and watching old things I missed. Like my favorite TV show of 2021 was Columbo. I discovered Columbo and watched a lot of Columbo, which is like a 70s detective show, right?
Yep.
And that's what I was into, and that's just, I don't know why, but that's what's driving with me. And I understand that it seems kind of old and out of touch, and look, it'll happen to you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just, it's how it is. I used to really, I like watching a lot of nonfiction stuff anymore. Like I really do just watch a lot of cooking shit on YouTube. Then I listen to audiobooks about like Stars or the American Revolution. Like that's what I do now. I'm becoming an old man.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. Where like I read and listen to a lot of books, nonfiction books about the economy and stuff like that, and about the one I'm reading still right now is The Premonition about COVID and the people that figured out what was happening with COVID before anyone else. And there's just this one guy that like looked at what happened early on with the like that first cruise ship that came back with like hundreds of people infected.
Oh, right.
And he was like, okay, if you take this and you look like the places where this is going to be really bad is like retirement homes. And this is before it ever got to any retirement homes. And he said exactly what was going to happen. It was like, it gave me chills just thinking about it. This guy figured it all out. And just, if someone would have listened to him, we would have been much better off. But it's like, I like reading stories about those kinds of people. And then, I've been watching a lot of like older PBS documentaries, a lot of Kim Burns stuff, like the one about the Brooklyn Bridge. Nice. I've watched that like 3 times in the last year. Did you watch his baseball one? Yeah, I have that kind of on in the background a lot of times, and I'm like, yeah, because it's good stuff, exactly.
Civil War, all that fun stuff.
Yes, exactly.
He did a Jefferson one that includes the guy that does that Thomas Jefferson podcast I talk about is in that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. And I like podcasts like that too. A lot of podcasts I like right now are the narrative ones where it's like one person like telling a story and like doing a lot of voices. Business Wars, they're sort of like cheap and cheesy, but I still like them. Mm-hmm. Danger Man leaked. Looks like Ubisoft backtracking NFTs and still facing a load of talent bleeding. Looks like Ubisoft's output is going to start struggling and it's going to be quite directionless at the moment. Shame, since they have a load of catalog IP they could use, since they have a subscription service, which is kind of frustrating. Yeah, I mean, these companies need to sort of realize that things can go sideways on them very quickly. Like Ubisoft was in a pretty good position like a year ago, right? Where you like look at them and they're like, oh, they can like, they've been getting out pretty big games, even when one game misses and they're delaying a bunch of stuff. That stuff's probably going to come out and be pretty good. And now they're in a situation where it's like, if they can't keep talent around, they're not going to be able to keep up the sort of the cadence that they've built up so far, and it could go really bad for them really quickly. Activision's definitely in the same boat.
Yeah, they'll be fine once Beyond Good and Evil 2 releases, though.
From Turbo Sean, happy Friday and Merry Christmas, guys. In the spirit of the holiday, what's your favorite Christmas movie, and why is it Jingle All the Way?
I do like Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way is very good.
I like either Home Alone 1 or 2. I like the first 2 Home Alones. Those are they're still very entertaining and funny to me, and they're also very Christmassy. Yep. They make me feel all good.
You know what the best part about the Home Alone movies is, especially Home Alone 1, is they did a really subtle job of decorating the house in a way that is like Christmas themed. So like the walls are like red and kind of have like snowflakes in them and stuff, and it's like the house just looks so Christmassy that it gives off this warmth that is really makes it really, really, really enjoyable for me.
Right? Yeah. So it's just a super cozy.
Yeah, I love Home Alone 1 and 2 as well. I love Christmas Vacation is my favorite one. I've talked about that before. I watched the Santa Claus again. My daughter really liked it, although she asked about Santa Claus dying and had questions about that.
Oh, is that when that happened? Is that the movie you guys were watching when you say your kids were asking you about death?
No, it was Bambi, and we were reading. We actually read a story about Bambi, but I think she watched the movie as well. But then we watched the Santa Claus like a couple days later, and so it was top of mind for her.
Everywhere.
She sees death everywhere, exactly. And I watched that in mind with what you said on your podcast about on 90s Disney. We were like, oh, this is a character that like likes Christmas, and it's just struggling with his child and like beginning to not believe, and with what's the stepdad's name?
Neil.
Neil, who's like just an incredible foil for Tim Allen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Mike's right. Like Tim Allen's character does like Christmas. Like he has some issues with the way like things are like coming to him, but for the most part, it's like he wants people to enjoy it, and that makes that movie even more enjoyable. I really like that movie now. So
yeah, it's a good.
All right, and then Turbo Shine, a bonus question. What's your favorite Christmas song, including specific renditions? For example, mine is Bruce Springsteen's version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Yeah, that's great. I love when he just laughs in the middle of it, right? Yeah. It just feels like they're all having a fun, good time. I really like Celebrate Me Home, which is the Kenny Loggins one. The Donny Hathaway version of This Christmas. I'm actually looking at my playlist right now to make sure I get these things. Oh, James Taylor does a very good Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and I like that a lot.
I like many of the melancholy Christmas songs. They don't make me feel sad. They just make me feel sort of that yearning, wistful. Yes. So I like the Ray Charles Christmas song that's in Christmas Vacation. But my favorite one is Darling Love, Christmas Baby Please Come Home. Whenever she played it on the Christmas episode of David Letterman,
Right.
she would play that live, and the band would all come out and play it with her, and you could just tell Dave was like super into it. It was the best. Like it was always like a great. Yeah,
that's a cozy feeling. Jeff is staying up late because it's like a holiday, and you get to watch David Letterman with your family on Thanksgiving,
and he like does a really good job of like bringing that Christmas feeling in there. Well, he's still kind of that that grumpy guy, but you can tell he's like letting himself get into the spirit. It was always really nice.
I loved it.
Delta Prime 84, what is your favorite game based on a license that you have no interest in outside of said game? For me, it's Doctor Who Pinball Machine. I sunk so many dollars into that thing at my local bowling alley that I probably should have bought my own Doctor Who Pinball Machine. Wow. Yeah.
Man, that's a very good question. It seems like I need to almost think about it. But I mean, who really cares about the Riddick franchise, right? But that's
a good one. That's a good answer.
Was very good, kind of out of nowhere. Gosh, I feel like there's probably other answers here.
I know I have a good answer to this, and I'm not going to be able to think of it. I'll probably have, this is one I'll have to like come back to someday or something like that, because, but it's a really good question. There's definitely stuff like that I, because there's sometimes it's like, oh, this game is just very good. And the Riddick one's a good example. From VJ Incoming, Happy Crimbo, Beef and Cheddar Boys. My favorite burger place does meals based on heavy metal bands and throws weird stuff on them based on the band. For the band Gwar, they put on cayenne candied bacon, funnel cake, cherry jam, and a maple whiskey glaze, and it was great. What's the strangest ingredient you've ever had on a piece of food? Jeff, they have a location in Denver if you ever want to try it out. Ooh, okay. They're called Kuma's Corner. All the others are in Chicago or Indianapolis. Highly recommended. Okay,
I want him to tell me if they have
I
wonder if they have an Iron Maiden burger and what would possibly be on that. Gosh, Jeff, I'm still a pretty picky eater. I used to be really bad about it though, so right. I'm struggling to think of anything super weird. When I am adventurous in my eating, it's in Disney World because I'm on vacation, I'm in a good mood, and that's when I get a little bit more out there. Like I don't know, Jeff, what you got to help me out here. I don't think you're all that crazy an eater too though,
yeah,
right?
I mean, I have nothing against it, but it's also like for me, the eating is rarely the part of the, like, I don't need to be adventurous in my eating because I'll just go do other adventures. So it's like I go to a new city and I don't need to try a local restaurant because it's not necessarily about the food for me. It's about actually seeing the city and doing something weird in the city or something like that. But I'm also struggling to think. I'm like, I've had anchovies and stuff, but that's not crazy. That's an option on the menu.
I had a beef cheek ravioli once. It's not that crazy. Just kind of a weird cut of meat. I've had pierogies on a burger, which was great. Like, what's weird about that? It's fantastic.
I had blood sausage ice cream once in San Francisco.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
So and it was pretty good actually. But this is a place that was like known for its weird ice creams, and they did an incredible job on it. From Winnie, featuring seasonal depression from climate change destroying the seasons.
Nice.
In honor
it's kind of warm here today. It was cold yesterday. I thought maybe we get a green Christmas or a white Christmas. Looks like we're getting a rainy Christmas tomorrow.
It's been shitty warm in Colorado most of this fall, and we did get a winter weather warning now, and hopefully that hits like tonight. I would be very happy.
There you go.
In honor of the new batch of Genesis games, and for those of us without a discerning palate, or / were 8 at the time, what differentiates a good side-scrolling beat 'em up from a bad one?
The most important thing with side-scrolling beat 'em ups, especially the console ones, difficulty curve and versatility in the characters and their movesets. That's why Streets of Rage is good. You have these 4 very different characters in 2. But they all still have different combos, different strengths. Like Streets of
they have a risk reward mechanic where you can burn your health bar to do special moves and get it back if you do it without getting hit.
Yeah, so exactly. Like sometimes people think of beat 'em ups like, oh, you just kind of walk forward, you just kind of keep smashing the A button, and there are beat 'em ups like that. It's awful. But Streets of Rage, there's so many combos and grapples and special moves and different things.
And you're juggling different concepts, so like of doing those combos or making sure that like you're sharing, like especially when you're working together with other people, like you need to be paying attention to their health and say you should go pick that up. I'll protect it for you, stuff like that. So
I think the third flavor is just spectacle, though, and that's what. Like a lot of the Konami ones were, like they weren't technically all that crazy. They were kind of like Turtles and Simpsons. They were kind of simple, but they just looked very good. They were very good at being like a Simpsons beat 'em up. They had incredible music, these really fun bosses. Like a Turtles had the thing where you would throw the foot soldiers into the screen, stuff like that, right?
Yeah. From Epic Open World, Jeff, you have said you are not bugging folks for info during holidays, which is the correct thing to do. What is something folks maybe should be on the lookout for in early 2022 that might be big/interesting? It doesn't have to be something that comes from you or your sources. I think Metroid Prime Remaster is one that I'm expecting to hear about relatively soon. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, another one from Nintendo that we should hear about soon. Or what other.
Sounds like you're basically thinking that we're going to get a Nintendo Direct soon, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's right. A Nintendo Direct, January, February, sometime around there. That's right. And then I think that Final Fantasy 16 is going to pop up somewhere. Maybe it pops. Maybe we hear about that later in the year at Sony's PlayStation Showcase for 2022. But also, if it comes out later next year, which is still possible, maybe we hear about it early in 2022.
Beginning to feel less possible to me, but we'll see.
I agree. It's definitely one where I'm like, I was sure it was coming out late 2022, and now it feels like the kind of thing where they haven't talked about it since it basically got announced, and so they're doing that because they're saving it because it's
a
not
lot
ready.
of the same people working on Final Fantasy 14, and they had to put a lot of extra work on Final Fantasy 14 this year because of the sudden popularity surge.
Yep,
so I wonder if that's impacting 16.
You're right, and it's the right move for them, for their business. So
right, what's going to make more money for them? Endwalker's going to make more money than 16 probably ever possibly can.
That's right.
Honestly.
From Epic Open World, I just read that one. Sorry. From Beefhammer, happy holidays, Beef and Cheddar Boys. What are some of the most memorable Christmas presents you have gotten over the years? Mine was in 2007. I got Halo 3 because it came out on my birthday, but it wasn't until Christmas that we got to make an Xbox Live account. I'll never forget me and my brothers all sitting around the same TV and taking turns playing matches every day for several weeks. Thanks. Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Yeah, mine was the PlayStation 2 just because we got it that Christmas that came out, and my dad had us all open our controllers first. Mm-hmm. So it slowly dawned on us that we were getting a PlayStation 2, and we really weren't expecting one. They were pretty hard to get, and we also weren't really asking for it. We were already trying to be kind of reasonable about it.
Right.
But he really surprised us, and that was super exciting.
One of the first ones like that for me was the Game Boy. I wasn't really asking for it. That probably was, but I don't remember. But it was definitely a surprise, oh, they actually got one for me. This is great. And at the time, I had no concept that it was relatively inexpensive and probably was a pretty easy choice for them. But that was very exciting. And then my wife got me a PlayStation 4 the year that came out for Christmas, and I did not think that was going to happen. And then for a couple of years, she would get me the new version of the 3DS that had Mario and Luigi on it from the new Mario and Luigi release. And I'm like, man, I really like that. And she would get that for me. And, it'd be the XL version. And I didn't have the XL. So that was very exciting. And then she got me a Zelda one of those a couple years later. But yeah, just stuff like that. It was always gaming hardware, really. Those are always the most exciting.
Yeah, that's ones you always remember. That's why they made a freaking movie about those kids getting that Nintendo this year, right? Did anybody see that 8-Bit Christmas?
No, the guy that wrote that sent me his book when it first came out, and I never read the book. I've lost track of it somewhere around here. It might be on the shelf over there somewhere. But yeah, I intend to watch it. It's got Neil Patrick Harris in it, which is apparently every HBO movie this year has Neil Patrick Harris in it.
It's like The Matrix. All right.
Yeah. From Alex, do either of y'all have any gaming traditions for Christmas? Every year since 2016, I've logged into WoW at least a little to receive the yearly gifts and hang out with my more distant friends. This year, it's looking like I'll be doing the same, but for Final Fantasy 14.
There you go. We actually did a gift exchange of Final Fantasy 14 with my free company, so that was fun. So gave away a minion to somebody, and I got a minion back. No, I don't have anything I do every year. I wish I could say I was cool enough that I make it a big point to play Christmas nights every year, but I don't really. Gosh, I don't think I even have the Saturn ready to go right now. So I wish I was that cool, but not really. I just kind of do. It's such a busy day. There's so much going on, especially now where I'm driving to different people's houses and stopping here and stopping there, that I just, do whatever I can, do whatever people want.
For the last couple of years since it came out, the Christmas level version of Paris and Hitman, I don't know if I've explicitly made it a point to play it, but it's when I think of a Christmas game, I'm like, man, that's really good. And then I open it, and it's so much more Christmassy than I even remember.
I need to do that
such
tonight.
a good job. It's so. I like Paris anyhow. And then they put beautiful Christmas trees every 5 feet. It's awesome.
Okay, I'm definitely doing that. I'm doing that tonight. Maybe I'll play a little Miles Morales tonight too for fun.
So you got to go to the Paris option, and then it's called the Holiday Hoarders, and then you got to what are the characters from Home Alone? What are the bad guys'
Marv
names?
and Harry.
Yeah, you got to beat Marv and Harry.
I absolutely need to
take them out. And they're going through and stealing stuff from throughout Paris, and then once you beat that, you unlock the Santa suit. and then you can use the Santa suit and all the other like special levels that they've got for Christmas and stuff.
What am I even doing? What am I even doing?
It's fantastic, and it's just so beautiful. And so like when I plan to do now, like I just play with Holiday Hoarders again. That's great. And now I'm gonna go and look for all the community levels that use this Christmas thing and use that as back. I just play in there a million times because I already play Paris over and over and over. Christmas Paris, absolutely, I want to do that. I will keep doing that for years.
There you go.
From Low Roll, Grubb, this week you mentioned that the Pixel remasters are coming to console early next year. Have you also heard anything about Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis coming to consoles down the line? I have not heard that, but
I mean, Ever Crisis hasn't even come out to mobile yet, so
right.
Yeah, let's wait a little bit on that one, I think.
From Nick Turbo, yeah, you can kill Santa, and like Santa's going like ho ho ho, and you hear jingle bells throughout the entire level. And I couldn't find him this year, and I'm like, I could have swore he's somewhere in this level. So there's Christmas presents all over the place. So of course he's in there somewhere.
He's got to be on the roof, right?
Hey, that makes sense. Yeah, and I think you can get up there. So I like looked for him in the attic, and I'm like, oh no, I'm thinking of the vampire outfit, and that's what I'm mixing up with. But that's still in there, and I put that on for a while. Had a fun Christmas. Nick Turbo, just to let everyone know, all 3DS Shin Megami Tensei games are on sale for under $10 each on the eShop. I bought them all. Get them before the eShop goes down. It's so expensive to get them physically.
Yeah, I mean, you can get Shin Megami Tensei 4, Apocalypse, Strange Journey, the version they made for 3DS, the Devil Summoner one they made for 3DS. Yeah, lots of games there.
From Blackheart Vinyl, our final question of the week. Last week you described what Colorado Nights were. My question is, should I get really into edibles? Advise me, gaming dad. Yeah, I mean, I think edibles are better than smoking because you're not like taking anything into your lungs. It's not like carcinogen. I mean, maybe a little bit, probably everything is, but it's not like smoking. It takes a little bit longer to take effect, but I think, the edibles were really great when we were having our Colorado Nights several years ago now. So yeah, get really into them.
My friend goes spending the night, and I made him watch Cats with me. He took an edible before that. I said that won't be necessary, but he went for it. Anyways, I think I've seen Cats 6 times now, by the way.
I've not seen it once yet. I've been postponing it. I guess that could be my Christmas movie tonight.
There you go. Listen, chat, you could judge me, but you can't shame me.
The man has no shame. It's physically impossible, everybody. Yeah, get into edibles. Try a drink though. The drinks are like even more like a little bit easier. Like you just keep them in the fridge and keep them high up so the kids can't get them. All that stuff. So yeah, and enjoy yourself. All right, that's gonna do it for the questions. Mike, have you been playing anything?
I have, but we got a few more super chats coming in. Let's get to these first. Jared Heller says, "Merry Christmas, guys." Oh wait, we already read that one. That's right. Capono. Oh, we already read that one. Here we go. Uriel Delgado says, "Merry Christmas to you too. I dislike Ratchet and Clank because I liked Sly Cooper and Jack and Dexter more growing up PlayStation 2. Ratchet is just boring to me." I mean, that's fair. I think I like Ratchet. I don't know about significantly more, but I like Ratchet more than those series. At least noticeably more than those other 2 series. Jay Stud McLovin says, "Happy capitalism, miss. Wow, the cynicism. I think somebody needs to be visited by some ghosts tonight. The ghost of Tasty's hands, and the ghost of Urban Meyer kicked in the back, and then the ghost of shut the fuck up." Jason McLovin, he says, "Happy capitalists, and may the FSM extend his noodly appendages to you both this holiday." What is FSM?
The flying spaghetti monster, which is the
yeah, I know what flying spaghetti monster is, you heathens. Jared Elder says, "With Labo, Ring Fit Adventure, and Mario Kart Live behind us, do you have any predictions for innovative product offerings from Nintendo in 2022?
Here's a big scoop. Nintendo's going to get really into teledildonics. So
finally,
yeah, it's going to happen. I'll let you control your friends' orgasms from across the You have to share your friend codes though, and that's going to be it. It's always just like how many 69s are in there. That's all it is. Yeah,
I'm only into stranger codes when it's that stuff. Better to me if I don't know your name.
Don't look me in the eye.
Lucius Acosta says, "Have you gentlemen watched The Wire? It's one of my favorite shows, but the first episode is super rough for new viewers." I haven't. I know everybody loves it. When you say it's super rough for new viewers, I feel like you're saying that it's super violent and stuff, and that alone kind of turns me off. Like I was a little.
No, I think it's just not indicative of what the show turns into. I think it's not as it's just not as good as the rest of the show is what it is.
All right. I mean, I could tell you I'll probably try to watch it at some point, but it's kind of a lie. Like I really don't intend to.
I want to watch it. I will eventually. I just don't have time for TV at all right now in my life. Not really.
The Great Dub Doob says, "Do you guys think Elden Ring will bridge the gap for more casual players, or will we see more articles stoking the easy mode fire from clearly
Both.
has a vision and should be able to do what they want?" I mean, both people are going to say their things, and both things are kind of overblown anyways. Like, clearly these games are fine.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I mean, what I say, like, yeah, we've had this conversation a million times. We don't need to repeat it, but like, a game maker's purpose should be to sort of entertain audiences, and like a chef's job is to feed people. It's not to do what they want. Like, oh, I have a vision as a chef, and you're gonna eat it and you're gonna like it. And like, your job is to feed people. And I think a job of a game developer is to entertain people. And you could still try to fit your vision within that, but also you should be considering your audience at a certain point. Now, do I think that there should be any rules or anything that forces the studio to change? No, but I bet they could maintain their vision and create a way for people to play their game simultaneously. Those things are not mutually exclusive. We will get both what you're talking about. I do think Elden Ring will bridge the gap, in part because it's open world and people will sort of view optional bosses as more optional than ever before, because it's like, oh, I could just go around him, and this is an open world, so it's sort of encouraging me to go around these things, and I think that'll help click in people's head that they can do that. And also I think because it's open world, people will be more willing to bring their friends in and help them and treat it as a co-op game. Whereas like something like Dark Souls, where you could do something like that, people were like, well, you're still supposed to kind of play alone, right? If I can't beat this alone, am I really playing this game? So I think this game's going to find a way to like walk the path a little bit easier and bring in more people who were afraid to play these games up until this point.
Yeah, sounds about right. All right, Jeff, that's it for the super chats. Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay. Then let's see here. Yeah, Mike, have you been playing anything? What have you been getting into?
Yeah, so I did. I said on the show that my Analog Pocket wasn't going to come in until like this time next year, but then a very helpful viewer told me that he actually had an extra one and an extra Game Gear adapter, extra TV adapter thing, dock. So
so you got the dock and everything. You're hooked up
and everything. I am hooked up, man. I splurged. I went for it. He sold it to me for price, and now I have it. And man, I tell you what, that thing feels good. It feels fantastic.
Yes, it doesn't. It feels really. I think that the controls are all great. The screen is just so good that it makes every game look as good as it possibly can. It's just a great system.
It feels like a premium product. It feels fantastic. The only game I had immediately was Donkey Kong 94, which is fine. But I have wherever my Game Boy games are, those things are very small. I have 1 million boxes. At some point, I'm gonna have to dig around. But right now, all I could find was that. But even still, that game is so fantastic. We've talked about how much we love that one on both shows before. It was great. But I went to the kind of used games and record store today and just splurged a bit and picked up like $100 worth of random cartridges. I got the only Game Boy Advance game I got that I really thought was worth it was Revenge of the Sith, which is actually a fun 2D beat 'em up game. Then I got Wario Land 3 for the Game Boy Color. There were so many Game Boy Color games, Jeff, and the Game Boy Color section was split from Game Boy, and it was like half and half, and it just made me so much more upset about that whole thing again. There's no DSi section, Jeff. There's no new 3DS section.
Listen,
it was
they weren't sure what they were doing yet. They were just making a DSi for Game Boy. They just didn't realize that's what it was. They were stumbling in the dark, figuring it out.
Yeah. So I got Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, which is like the Pokemon Puzzle League for Game Boy Color, Tetris DX, and then for Game Gear, I picked up Sonic 2, NBA Jam, and it was like Columns Advanced, some special form of columns, but some kind of columns thing. So the Game Gear section was a little sad. Like all the other ones are kind of like put in like individual cages. The Game Gear was like a bucket. And it's like, here's the Game Gear games, dig through it. And I was like looking. It's kind of fun though. It was like trash.
Yes, that is
Sonic
fun.
2.
That is cool. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it. So it was good stuff. Alrighty. But aside from that, I did start up the Forgotten City, Jeff, and I have been enjoying it. I don't know if I'm certainly not in love with it yet, and I don't know if I will be if I just need to play more, but I am enjoying it.
Yeah. I'm like, do you have anything else to say about that, or should I start talking about my games? I was just going to start talking about mine.
I just wonder. I wonder how. So what have I done? I did the whole thing with the golden bow.
Okay.
And now I need to go find like 4 slabs or something like that.
Have you gotten any of the endings?
No, and I feel like maybe that's my problem, and maybe that's my issue, is that I'm like, maybe I'm supposed to play it that way where I'm just seeking out endings, but instead I'm like, no, I need to figure out the right way to do this, and this seems like a cheap way or a bad thing to do, so I'm not going to do that. and see what happens. And you told me to do something, and then like I try to remember, and I didn't understand. I forgot what you told me to do, and didn't understand what to do.
Kill the guy that opens the portal. Just kill him, because it's just like it's a cheap little ending right up there at front, and it's not going to ruin like. Just like on your next loop, just kill the guy that opens the portal before he opens the portal. Just
That's
go
the thing,
kill
like,
him.
I see, like I've played for like 4 or 5 hours, and I probably only am on like my 3rd or 4th loop. You know?
Yeah. The first couple of loops are going to be way longer because it's before you get a chance to because once you start solving stuff, then you could tell the bald guy at the front like, hey, go do this for me, and he kind of just takes care of it and gets everything in position for you, and that makes it very convenient.
Yeah, so I definitely have some more. Like, do I carry over items? And like my money, I'm actually not sure between.
Yes,
loops. Do I have to get the gold bow again? Do I just have that now?
No, you have that now. You just have that now. Yes,
That's cool.
It's very considerate of the player when it comes to that stuff.
Sure.
So don't worry about that. I would say if you feel like you want to do things the right way, that's fine. Stick with that. That's okay. But I think also if you feel like if you are presented with something in front of you, you should also go down that route and just see where it goes and tug on those strings to the end because that stuff can also help solve other parts of the mystery and things like that. I don't know. I think that
is it pretty clear like what the real ending is, like when you really beat the game. Okay, makes sense. Cool.
Yeah, and you'll get like you'll know. I think it's 4 of 4 is what it is. So it'll tell you if you got 1 of 1, 2 of 2, 3 of 3, or 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, and like if you go and you kill that guy, that's 1 of 4, and it's just a cheap ending because it's like a paradox or something like that. So it gives you an idea of like what is possible. But yeah, other than that, I would just keep pushing at it, keep prodding.
I thought you wanted me to kill the first person I see. I was like, I can't kill this woman. So then I got mad at myself.
No. The guy the septum or whatever it is. Septius or whatever it is.
The mayor.
That's right. Whatever he is.
Whatever he is.
Yeah, whatever Rome has.
Is he Legatus? Legatus? Is that a thing? Anyways, but yeah, I've been enjoying it. So I want to play more, but there's a lot of things to play. So I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 like crazy. I got my best in slot weapon, and it's very cool. It's very crystally. It makes me very happy. It triggered a lot of endorphins in my brain when I got it. It was very good. Jeff, what about you? What have you been playing?
I got the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus, and like I said, it's like really good at PlayStation emulation and some other stuff. It's just like way faster. And so I've been playing Einhander. Which I'm like, I've never beaten Einhander because it's, it uses like the continue system, and if you run out of continues, you have to start from the beginning. And now I'm like, I'm dedicating myself. I'm gonna beat this game, and it's very good. It's like it makes you feel very good, and it's like so many shooters were sprite based and stuff like that, and it's like when they went polygon with Einhander. It made it 3D, and the camera can move around. It actually like there's a lot of benefits to that where they can just. They can make it like look a lot more dynamic and give you all these kinds of weapons that like feel like even like where the objects actually traveling through like physical space and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's a really good game. It's one of Square Enix's best games of that generation. And I wish it would come back. I wish they would do a remaster of it because it's like a kind of like this forgotten game from them. And it would be great to this day. Like people would really enjoy it now. But I've been enjoying that. And then I beat Guardians of the Galaxy. I talked about that on Nintendo, so I don't have to like repeat myself too much here. But I ended up really liking it. The story's really great. It climaxes really well. Where there's this moment that they've actually started showing in commercials now. They were hiding it before, but like there's this moment where a lot of the plot threads come together into like this one image that I think everyone, when they get to that point in the game, they just screenshot it. They can't help themselves because it's just so cool looking. And then the way the character reacts to like being in that moment is very in line with.
I'm so scared you're going to spoil this for me right now.
No, I'm not. I'm talking around it, but the way the Peter Quill responds to being in that moment is also really in line with this character. And so it's not just like this like cheap thing where they're like, oh, doesn't that look cool? It's like, oh no, the character realized that it looks cool and it meant a lot to him, and it's like, oh, it's like that makes it even better. But it's like
a bunch of old Disney Epcot rides, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's right, Mike. You're really.
Damn it! I figured it out. I inferred.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to spoil it. But the whole game is like that, where like it knows what it's setting up, and then it knows how to knock them down. It is not going to leave any threads going, unanswered. The fridge. Every time you look at the fridge in the ship, it's always open, and you always close it, and the game always saves right after. You're like, what's going on there? And there's like something at the end with the fridge too. It's like they just make sure that everything pays off, and it's It's a sign of really strong writing.
Sure is a surprise that this ended up being an interesting game to talk about.
Yeah, and it's like that's inspiring a category for me for Game of the Year, where we're going to talk about the Doom 2016 Memorial Award for games that you thought had no chance of you caring about.
Right.
And I think Guardians of the Galaxy will be in that for sure.
That's
Let's come up with some of their nominations. And then Inscription. I am through the first segment. I am probably going to get through the second segment here pretty quick, and then my understanding is there's a third, and I have no idea what to expect from that. But it's the first segment I really loved. I just love the card game. I'm not going to talk about the way it has changed now, but it has changed, and I'm still trying to see it through. It's a very good game. I don't think I like it quite as much as many people, but I really love it. It's in my top 10 already, even without having beat it.
I'm curious to see what I think of it.
Yeah, I think you're going to like it. I mean,
seems like something I'll probably like.
I think so. But yeah, that does it for me.
Yeah, all right then, Jeff. Your chat's starting to call me out and looking sleepy, so I'm feeling self-conscious, so maybe we better wrap it up now.
Let's wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Mike, why don't you tell people where they can find you on the internet?
You can they're right. I am sleepy. Big stretch. You can find me on Twitter.
Hey, Christmas Eve. We go take a Christmas Eve nap.
That is absolutely happening. Oh,
sounds good.
Last super chat here from Afro Ahmed. Happy holidays, gents. If Chrono Cross Remaster is real, do you think Square is also remastering other classics like Vagrant Story? Jeff, I'm starting to get worried that all those people just saw those really nice like CG renders from that crossover thing and just thought that like, oh, obviously this is Chrono Cross Remaster, and maybe there actually isn't a Chrono Cross Remaster. Is that crazy?
I hope that's crazy. I don't know. Let's get out of here. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Merry Christmas.